WDAZ Sports presents Fighting Sioux Hockey, live from the Winter Sports Arena at the University of North Dakota. Tonight, the Sioux take on the Gophers from the University of Minnesota. Tonight's action is brought to you by Valley Honda, H.E. Everson, the First National Bank, Grand Forks, Thompson Insurance, the Home of Economy, Hoffert Motor Service, the Golden Q, Express Photo Devil's Lake, Acme Electric, Norby's Bridal, Happy Harry's, Shakey's Pizza, Oppegard Implement, Wilcox and Malm, the Ski Shop, Fat Albert's, and the River Band.
A regular season series does not get much bigger than this one. It's North Dakota against Minnesota for first place in the WCHA. Good evening to you. This is Pat Sweeney along with Serge Gambucci live at the UND Winter Sports Center in Grand Forks for tonight's battle of co-leaders in the WCHA, the North Dakota Sioux against the Minnesota Gophers. And Serge, not much needs to be said to get everyone ready for this one.
Well, that's certainly true, Pat. As we can hear by this crowd, I can hardly hear myself. I could hardly hear you. It's going to be a tremendous series by, how can you put it any better? You couldn't do it if you tried. Two top teams in the country, number 2 and number 3. They're tied for the WCHA lead. Although we must not lose fact that there's still 24 points out there to be won or lost. But the winner of this series, if Minnesota or North Dakota can win the series, then they control their own destiny. Then people have to beat them. But it's going to be a tremendous series, Pat.
Well, whatever you said, I agree with you. I can hardly hear Serge. This arena is jam-packed and ready for this matchup of first-place teams. North Dakota, Minnesota tied up atop the WCHA. Ed Belfour will be starting in goal for North Dakota tonight, making his 3rd consecutive start. At defense, it'll be Ian Kidd along with Tarek Howard. Up front, the Sioux juggling their lines a little bit this week. Steve Johnson out of Grand Forks Central will be at one wing. On the other side will be number 8, Mickey Krumpinich. And that line will be centered by Lee Davidson. Davidson just back after a 2-week tour of duty with the U.S. junior team in Czechoslovakia. That U.S. team taking 4th place, and we'll hear from Lee Davidson during our first intermission. For the Minnesota Gophers, John Blue in goal, making his 7th consecutive start. Todd Richards and Gary Schopek at defense. Up front, the Gophers will go with Steve McSwain, Paul Broughton, and they will be centered by Jay Cates. Let's check the standings in the WCHA. There you see it. 16-5 are the Sioux and the Gophers. Denver 10 points back. Then it's Wisconsin and Northern Michigan. Duluth at 19 points, followed by Colorado College and Michigan Tech. Other games tonight around the league and in Hockey East. Boston College visits Denver. Duluth goes to Wisconsin. Lowell is at Northern Michigan. Maine goes to Michigan Tech. And it's New Hampshire on the road at Colorado College. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just one moment.
Shooting for a great evening of relaxation, good food, and fun? Then head for the East Grand Forks Golden Q Billiard Lounge. The Golden Q knows what you're looking for. Billiard tables, pinball, video games, frosty pitchers of beer, and a complete selection of delicious homemade food, including the Golden Q's famous billiard burger. It all racks up to a good time. So plan to join your friends downtown East Grand Forks at the Golden Q Billiard Lounge. Express Photo in Devil's Lake knows that the world's most cherished pictures are the ones you take. So they take pride in giving you quality prints with the use of the revolutionary new KISS photo processor. The miracle KISS photo processor takes your 110, 126, 135, and disc film and delivers extraordinary prints. Extra prints and enlargements take only minutes with the KISS photo processing system, so you can share the moment with friends and relatives. Express Photo uses Kodak paper exclusively for the very best quality. Visit Express Photo Devil's Lake today. All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults 1% over invoice.
Welcome back to the UND Winter Sports Center. Pat Sweeney along with Serge Gambucci. A full house on hand tonight, and little wonder. North Dakota versus Minnesota And this game will serve as the tiebreaker for first place in the WCHA, barring, of course, an overtime tie tonight. The scoring leaders for North Dakota, Tony Hrkac on top with 48 points. Bob Joyce just 7 points behind. Then it's Johnson, Krumpetich, Kidd, and Parks. For the Minnesota Gophers, their number one scorer, Dave Snuggerud, will not play tonight. He's got a shoulder injury, and he will be out at least another 2 weeks. The doctors say perhaps longer. Corey Millen is back, and that's bad news for UND. Millen and Hrkac, two of the top centers in the league, going head-to-head here tonight. Todd Richards, an offensive-minded defenseman, third in scoring, along with Steve McSwain at 32 points. Then it's Tom Chorsky of Minneapolis Southwest and Paul Broughton out of Roseau, Minnesota. Serge, what kind of a game do you think we'll have tonight?
Well, I look for it to be very tight. It's going to be strictly a defensive battle, I think. I don't know who's going to be able to open it up. I know Gino's strictly a defensive coach. He's always said that let's keep the opponents down to 3 goals or less and we'll win hockey games. And I think Doug Rule feels the same way. You know, when you're on the road in a strange rain, strange crowd and so forth, you try to protect your own end of the rink. And whatever comes offensively, you take, of course. But it depends on how things go as the game progresses, the score and so forth. But I look for it to be a real good hockey game. Hopefully it doesn't get chippy or anything of that nature, because both teams are highly talented, highly skilled, good goaltending. And as I said earlier, Pat, if you got good goaltending, you're going to get a good hockey game. You got poor goaltending, you're going to have a poor hockey game. I think it boils down to just that. Because with good goaltending on either end allows your team to play the entire rink.
The officials tonight, the referee Mito Martinello, the linesman Keith Markstrom from Roseau, and Pat Pfau of Bemidji. North Dakota dressed in white, moving from left to right. Ed Belfour in goal. John Blue in the nets for the Minnesota Gophers. Mito Martinello about to drop the puck between a couple of 14s, Davidson and Jay Cates, and away we go with WCHA Hockey live from Grand Forks. Puck rolls back at the Gopher end. Steve Johnson bowls one of the Gophers over, and that draws a big rise out of the crowd. A whistle here, and a penalty coming up on the Sioux. High sticking on Steve Johnson.
Steve got a little bit too aggressive that time behind the net as he was chasing the puck carrier back there. There he is with the puck, and you'll see Steve coming out here up high with his stick. You see his stick is way up high. It's an obvious high sticking penalty, and North Dakota shouldn't be doing this for the simple reason that Minnesota has got I think it's a 29.3 power play average. That's the best in the league, and although North Dakota has got the best penalty kill in the league, so it remains to be seen what's going to happen on this power play.
Johnson going off for high sticking just 13 seconds into the game. And now Minnesota on a power play here. Corey Millen, number 8, moving in on the backhand, drops it off to Cates. A shot, and it's blocked to the defense. Batted down and out by Bob Joyce. Steve McSwain leads Minnesota with 10 power play goals. He's out there, number 19. And another penalty here on Minnesota. Mito Martinello wasting little time getting his whistle in gear.
Well, I was following the puck, and I didn't actually see the play, but it's a tripping and not a very intelligent penalty on the part of Minnesota, and that they're taking a penalty as they're breaking up ice with the puck. They've got control of the puck, as you can see, and there's a trip in front of the net by a defenseman. He's off the screen, but an obvious trip which puts the teams at equal strength once again, 4-on-4.
A penalty on Gary Shopek, number 25, the senior from Minneapolis, at 41 seconds. So now Steve Johnson has 1:32 to go on his penalty. And Shopek is in for 2 minutes. Oh, a correction. That penalty was called apparently on John Blue, the Gopher goalie. And Shopek is serving it. So both teams 4-on-4 here. An easy save for Belfour there off the shot by Eric Dornfeld. Recapping again, that penalty to Minnesota goalie John Blue, that was what caused the delay. And they sent Shopek into the box to serve the penalty. 1:17 remaining on Steve Johnson's penalty. And 1:45 to go on the penalty to John Blue. There you see Shopek in the box substituting for John Blue. Corey Millen on the draw for Minnesota, directing Tom Chorsky. Outside the circle, Lee Davidson will face it off for North Dakota. Russ Parent, number 17, back of the Sioux net, being hampered by Millen. Chorsky tries to steal away, and the Sioux come out of there. Lead pass for Davidson, trying to get around Dornfeld. Now he feeds it intended for Krumpetich. Richards will get there first. Held in at the point by Lemoyne. Around it comes again. Mickey Krumpetich, number 8, drops it back of the net. It comes to number 17, Tom Chorsky. Long pass for Corey Millen. Now it's Todd Richards carrying on. Richards hooked by Lemoyne. Martinello lets that go. Russ Parent picks the puck up. 0-0 our score. 18:23 to go, first period. Krumpetich into Gopher ice. Drops it off for Davidson. Being tied up by a defender, and the Gophers come out with it. Lance Pitlick, number 6, a freshman. To Corey Millen. Millen one-on-one with Kidd. A shot, and a big save by Belfort. Back come the Sioux. Bob Joyce with Tony Hrkac. Joyce a long shot, just wide. Blue pokes it off to the side. 10 seconds to go on Johnson's penalty. Hrkac muscling with Pitlick. Hrkac controlling the puck out to Kidd. Back to Hrkac now. He spun around. Randy Skarda taking a whack at it. Johnson's out of the box now. 24 seconds to go on the Minnesota penalty. So the Sioux with a man advantage here. Johnson bringing it in. Has Hrkac back of him. Setting up the power play for another 13 seconds. This is Hrkac. Looks by the official. Hrkac is tripped up by Skarda. Out to the point. Kidd fakes over to Joyce. A shot and a goal!
Well, that puck was rotated back to Ian Kidd. Ian Kidd faked the shot, dropped the defenseman, fit Bobby Joyce beautifully in the corner there, and Bobby put it right between John Blue's legs for University of North Dakota's first goal. There it is again. There it comes. There's a shot by Bobby Joyce, a quick wrist shot. The element of surprise is always there, and Blue wasn't quite ready, didn't get himself quite ready. He had to move across from the left side of the net, get across to the right side rather, get across to the left side. He was able to get there soon enough to stop the shot of Bobby Joyce. A quick wrist shot, not a slap shot.
Bob Joyce on the power play, his 26th of the season. Kidd and Hrkac on the assists at 2:36. And North Dakota strikes first, 1-0. Now Tom Benson, lead pass for Paranika. Paranika moving in. Glove save by Blue. Dishes off. It's off the stick of Espy. Benson keeps it in. Loose puck at the side of the net. Batted away. Now it's past Craig Mack out of East Grand Forks. He goes bowling into Tarek Howard along with Scott Bloom. And the Gophers finally clear it. And a penalty here.
Got a slashing penalty.
A slashing call coming up here, and
I think it's Koborinsky.
Indeed it is Koborinsky. So at 3:07, our third penalty of the game. Minnesota with another power play chance here. They blew their earlier one with a penalty right after the Sioux took one early in the game. So now the Gophers send out the big guns again. Corey Millen along with Steve McSwain. And Jay Cates on the right wing here. The Sioux send it down, and Todd Richards picks it up. Here's Corey Millen. As Cates fakes the shot, gets around Lemoyne. Out at the point, it's Richards losing it to Tony Hrkac. 3-on-2 come the Sioux. This is Joyce, the pass too far. Joyce being wrapped up by Richards. It squirts loose to Millen. Back for Richards. 1:20 to go on that penalty to Scott Koborinsky. 1-0 North Dakota with 16:08 to go first period. Hrkac clears it. And the Sioux send out some fresh players. Davidson bumps his man off the plate. Cates brings it in for the Gophers. A whip shot and a glove save by Belfort. Hit the post. It got away from him and hit the post. And the Sioux clear it. Scott Doob. Oh, Eddie banging his stick against the post. A little disappointed he let that one get away, and the Sioux lucky that that didn't go in. Now Davidson, the puck underneath him. He can't see it. Comes to Scott Bloom, the freshman from Burnsville. Up ahead to Paul Broughton. Loses it to Scott Doob. Doob will kill off more time. 30 seconds to go on the penalty to Koborinsky. Here comes Minnesota number 17, Tom Chorsky. Cutting in, Chorsky runs right into Belfort and goes into the net. The puck stays out now. Broughton, whip shot. Saved by Belfort with the blocker. 13 seconds to go on the Minnesota power play. Loose puck. Broughton gets to it. Broughton looks for help. Puts it right through the crease. Mack a shot deflected in traffic. 2 seconds, 1 on the penalty. Koborinsky's out of the box. Doob finally gets it outside the zone and picks up the puck again. Now it's Koborinsky. Knocked down by Craig Mack. Gets through Hrkac. Marty Nanny, number 28, dishes off for Dave Granis. He fans on it, and here comes UND. Koborinsky can't get the pass away as Steve Orth was bothering him. Now Tarek Howard up ahead for Koborinsky. Bumped off the play. Kleviter picks it up. Kleviter has Nakanischny in front, and it doesn't connect. Gophers get it out of there. This is Granis. Granis, glove saved by Belfort. He covers up. 14-13 to go. We'll be back.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Get the professional edge with this Black & Decker 4.5-inch angle grinder, now sale priced at just $59.95. Fall projects go smoother with a Black & Decker cordless drill kit, priced at only $89. Get the professional edge at Acme Electric, with stores in Grand Forks, Fargo.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
North Dakota leading on Bob Joyce's 26th of the season at 2:36 on the power play. Right now we've got 14-13 to go in the opening period. And a face-off to the right of Ed Belfort. Russ Parent will carry it back of the North Dakota goal. Brett Strotel takes some swipes at him. Puck rolls all the way down. John Blue will get there first. Puts it right on the stick of Kleviter. In front, Bowen, backhand, and a goal! Jeff Bowen with his second goal of the season.
Kid comes across the net, walks in with a backhand, lifts it right up the top, Minnesota defenseman's down, so he can't get in the way of the puck. If he did anything, he screened the goaltender Blue and right over the top with a backhand shot, just a beautiful shot. I think the mistake on that particular play, Pat, was Blue should have let that puck go. It would have been an icing. He threw it out to the point, right on the stick of one of North Dakota players, and they were able to rotate it up into the net and score a goal. Just a beautiful goal.
Jeff Bowen getting credit. His second of the season. They give the assist to Parent and Nakanischny at 6:04. So North Dakota on top 2-0 here. Here's David Espy in the corner with Johnson behind him. Brett Strote throws it in for the Gophers. And it's whistled icing. And they'll bring the puck back. 13:25 remaining in this first period. In our first intermission, we'll have a look at some of the halftime show at last night's Sioux men's basketball game. The Bud Light Daredevils putting on quite a dunking exhibition. We'll also hear from Sioux freshman center Lee Davidson. Doug Woog sending out some new defenders. Lance Pitlick and Randy Skarda out there. This is Pitlick with the puck right here. Pitlick all the way into Sioux ice. He shoots, and a stick save by Belfour. Jay Cates pinches in. They get the puck out to the point to Pitlick. A drive, hit the post. The Sioux finally get it out of there, but the Gophers control. Skarda's pass intercepted by Joyce, and he springs Parks ahead. He's ridden off the play. Gophers shoot it out to neutral ice. Here's Hrkac passing off over for Joyce. A shot. Oh, the save by Belt. The save by Blue, rather, and it was in the crease. He didn't see it. Nobody there for the rebound, and the Gophers called for icing.
Blue really had to come up big. You just saw a pass across the rink by Tony Hrkac, fed Bobby Joyce, and Bobby made a beautiful shot on net, and Blue had to come up big. Couldn't control the rebound. Rebound came out behind the defenseman, and Minnesota, being disorganized as they have been that last couple of seconds, they decided to ice the puck, get a line change, at least stop the play, and try to regroup. Just a beautiful pass right on the stick by Hrkac to Joyce.
Each goalie having some shaky moments here in the early going. Now the Sioux controlling at their own blue line. Here's Mike Lemoyne from Red River. Knocked off the play by Chorsky. The puck hits the linesman. And it's whistled offside by Mito Martinello. So they'll bring it back again. Rob Stauber, the backup goalie for Minnesota tonight. Scott Brower is the reserve for North Dakota. Now the Gophers take the Berglund, Millen, and Chorsky line off and put out Steve Orth's line with Marty Nanny and David Granis at the wings. Taken away by the Sioux. Kobarinski goes down. No call there. Gary Shopek, number 25 for Minnesota. Dangerous pass there, nearly picked off by Kobarinski, and an icing call on the Gophers. Russ Parrott paired up with Mike Lemoyne on defense tonight. As Juno Gasparini doing a little bit of juggling from last week. He's got Mal Parks up on that Hrkac Circus line with Hrkac and Joyce. Paranika was up there last week. He's got Paranika this week with Kobarinski and Dube. Trumpetich, Davidson, and Johnson, the third line, with Flaviter, Bowen, and Nakonechny, the number 4 line. The Bowen line is removed now as Hrkac and Millen go head-to-head. Goes between the Sioux defenders, and Darren Fossen, number 5 out of Bemidji, gets it. Now Chorsky steals. Millen is taken down from behind by Fossen. It's Joyce to Kidd as Millen in there, creating trouble. Mack, a blast from the point, wide of the mark. Now Tim Berglund as the Gophers control. Loose puck to Chorsky, one-on-one around Kidd. Chorsky going in, the shot, and a save by Belfour.
Well, Eddie made just a beautiful save here. There goes Chorsky. He beat Ian Kidd, and he's in there. He's waiting for Belfour to make a move. Belfour just follows the puck all the way, forces Chorsky to just leave the puck and skate away, and Eddie Belfour was able to trap it with that big glove. He didn't commit himself. Chorsky was waiting for Eddie to commit himself. He didn't. He just stayed right with him and forced him to just leave the puck there, and all he was able to do is trap it and get a face-off.
Now we've got some fencing here between Parks and Scott Bloom off the draw. And the officials intervene there. 11:35 remaining, first period, 2-0. Minnesota trailing North Dakota. The Sioux goals by Joyce and Bowen. Puck squirts out to Randy Skarda, a high shot. Now it's Brett Stroh fanning at it. Hrkac picks it up for the Sioux, batted down at the point by Pitlick. Having trouble with it, and it's out to center. Skarda off the stick of Bloom. It's Joyce carrying on for the Sioux. Bob Joyce waits for some help. Benson, a shot knocked down by Blue. Howard now gets around one man. Joyce goes bumping with Skarda, who kicks it to Bloom. He'll put it right on the stick of Benson, though. Benson, a screen shot, and somebody got a piece of that. A penalty here on North Dakota. 10:56 to go. We'll be back.
We've come a long way together here in Dakota. We've prospered and grown. First National Bank has been helping business dreams come true for more than 50 years. We've loaned more money to more businesses than any other bank around. We work hard to make your success our business, and we've become this area's business finance leader doing just that. Partnership, commitment, banking Dakota style. First National Bank in Grand Forks.
Tony Hrkac penalized for North Dakota, 2 minutes for hooking at 9:04. The third Sioux penalty of this period. Minnesota has one. But the Gophers have yet to score, so they'll get the power play unit on here again. Gophers scoring at a 31% clip on that power play. The Sioux killing off 84% of their penalties. Steve McSwain, number 19, tying up Kidd, back of the net. Puck squirts loose. Kobarinski can't clear it. Cates picks it up for the Gophers. Out at the point, Todd Richards. Over for Shopek. As Millen along the boards. Millen loses it to Dube. Dube gets the puck just out to center, and now Kobarinski carries on. Kobarinski, a shot, blew the save, the rebound, and a goal!
Kobarinski was very determined that time. He picked up a loose puck, as you'll see here, on his own blue line. Backing in, there's a defenseman from, I think it's Richards, backing in, and Blue can't handle a rebound. But Kobarinski does what you're supposed to do when you take a shot. You follow your shot in. The rebound was sitting there. Blue was out of position, couldn't control the rebound. Kobarinski follows the rebound in and puts the puck in the net for the Sioux third goal. A bad play by Minnesota's defenseman. Bad play by Blue. A great play by Kobarinski.
A shorthanded goal for the Sioux, and it's 3-0. Kobarinski is 12th of the season at 9:38. But the Gophers still on the power play here. Millen maneuvering, getting it out to Shopek. Shopek closing in now. Gets it back of the net. It's through McSwain. They ruled the goal unassisted. I thought Dube should have gotten an assist on that goal. We'll see if they change it. I believe Dube was the last Sioux player to touch the puck. Now the Gophers send it in. Davidson back of the net. 40 seconds to go on the Sioux penalty to Hrkac. 4-player tie-up. No whistle yet. Joyce comes out of there with it. Banks it for Davidson. Finally he clears it. Now a race here. Shopek and Joyce. Shopek wins the race to Todd Richards. 9:19 remaining, period one. 3-0. North Dakota on top of the Gophers. McSwain tied up by Duke. It's Richards over for Shopek. Gary Shopek, the senior from Minneapolis. Tried to play it ahead for Scott Bloom, who was attempting a possible break, and that is whistled icing. 4 seconds to go on Hrkac's penalty. 9 minutes to go on the period. 3-0 North Dakota. So the Sioux getting a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and an even strength goal. Kobarinski to face it off with Steve Orth. Mike Lemoyne has it. Sioux back at full strength now as Hrkac comes out of the box, and Hrkac will get it. He's run into on a big check by Lance Pitlick. The Gophers come back. Granis gets the pass off to Nanny. Losing it now to Lemoyne. And a race coming up here. Kobarinski and Pitlick, but Pitlick gets to it first. Now it's Skarda over for Dave Granis. Granis from South St. Paul played his high school hockey under Gopher coach Doug Wood. Intercepted by Dube, a shot blocked by the defenseman Pitlick. Sioux maintaining the pressure though, forcing Skarda to retrieve. Dave Granis to Steve Orth. Parent gets a stick on it. Now Paranika setting it up for Scott Dube. Dube a long shot off target. Now the Sioux will complete the line change. Bowen muscling in the corner with a couple of Gophers. Now Kleviter in to help out. And a face-off coming up. Jeff Bowen played high school hockey with Craig Mack of the Minnesota Gophers. Mack out there now, number 13 on defense. Craig is a senior. Jeff scoring a goal in this first period. We want to welcome our Western stations. KBMY TV Channel 17 in Bismarck, Mandan, and KMCY Channel 14 in Minot. Hope you're enjoying this Sioux hockey telecast. We'll be back on the air with you tomorrow at 7:30. Loose puck in front as the Gopher defender Dornfeld made a dangerous move. But the Gophers do put it into Sioux ice. Harry Nakonechny, number 10 from Dauphin, Manitoba. Off a teammate's stick, and Dornfeld has it for the Gophers. Lofting it into the corner where Howard gets it. Espy bumps him into the boards. It's Phil Cleveter getting the pass off, and now Stroh puts it back in the net for Benson. It's in the skates of Nakonechny. Comes to Benson. Around for Nakonechny as the Gophers stirring things up here. Blue lets it go. Cleveter overskates it. Nakonechny holding in there with Craig Mack, number 13. Gophers clear it. And this will be icing. 7 minutes to go. We'll be right back.
You've dreamed of your wedding day, full of romance and anticipation. Bring your groom-to-be and come share your dreams with us at Norby's Bridal Show this Sunday at the UND Student Union Ballroom. The show begins at 2:30, but come early and enjoy the displays of ideas for your wedding. And brides can register for hundreds of dollars in door prizes. Dick King's band will play, and no admission tickets are required. See you this Sunday at Norby's Bridal Show, where dreams come true.
The cat and mouse game going on here as Corey Millen's line came out for Minnesota, and Tony Hrkac's line quickly sent out for the Sioux.
I don't know why they waste their time doing that, because the home team has the last change. And of course the officials know that, and we had the same thing happen last Sunday.
Last Sunday, Boston U coach Jack Parker tried to get a shadow on Hrkac. Wasn't always successful, as the referee stopped him on numerous occasions, preventing him from making the final change. 3-0, Sioux leading the Gophers here. Joyce picks it up, a bad angle shot, and a good save by Blue.
There he comes, Bobby Joyce. He's going to shoot that puck up high. He's looking for that short corner, but Blue had it frozen beautifully, and he just stopped the puck, and it stayed right in his pads. And I don't know if he knew they were in his pads or not, but he just stood there hoping that the red light wasn't going to go on, but he made a good save to kill the play right there. University's taking some good, quick shots, and I think this is so important that the element of surprise, and the goaltender is ready, and this is how they're scoring some goals.
A lot of these Gophers haven't played up here in this rink. Jay Cates has. He's got the puck right now. Number 14 dishing off for McSwain. A backhand save. Belfour, the rebound cleared by Davidson. Steve Johnson carries it out, a rink-wide pass for Mickey Krumpetich. Trying to get around Mackey. Kicks the puck goalward, and it's thrown out of there by Blue. A shot by Johnson through the slot. Now McSwain with Fossen. Riding him off the play. Steve Johnson sweeping in for it. Puck rolls back of the net. Now it's Paul Broughton being stopped by Ian Kidd right there. Sioux come out 2-on-1. Davidson with Johnson. Dornfeld is back. Davidson moving in. A shot saved by Blue. The rebound, Davidson. Try to get it in front to Krumpetich, and that didn't click. Now Mike Lemoyne regroups for the Sioux. Ahead for Johnson, a shot and a stick save. John Blue. Johnson was successful with that shot last weekend, but not this time. Tony Hrkac causing problems for number 25, Gary Schopek. Sioux intercept again. Puck comes over to the boards, and it's whistled dead by Martinello. High stick.
High stick in the puck. High stick in the puck, so consequently the face-off will be down in the Sioux end.
5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in period number 1. As you look at Steve Johnson, who had a pretty good week last week. A couple of goals in last Friday's victory over Boston College. Bob Joyce had a 3-goal weekend. As the officials do some patchwork in front of the UND goal. I want to remind you that coming up in our first intermission, in case you didn't see it last night, the Bud Light Daredevils put on a tremendous halftime show at the UND men's basketball game. We'll be looking at some of those highlights in our first intermission, and we'll be chatting with Lee Davidson, the freshman center from UND. His thoughts on the World Junior Championships in Czechoslovakia the past couple weeks. Lee was an eyewitness to that Russia-Canada brawl last Sunday, and he'll have some thoughts on that. Jim Berglund out of Thief River Falls, number 27 in there to freeze the puck with Mal Parks. Berglund out there playing with Corey Millen and Tom Chorsky on the number 1 line for Minnesota. Timmy on a hot streak. Berglund has 8 goals in his last 11 games. Quite a digger in the corners. In fact, he won the team's Unsung Hero Award last year. 3 area players on the Gophers. Craig Mack from East Grand Forks and Tim Berglund from Thief River, Paul Broughton of Roseau. All getting a chance to play in their old home territory. Now the screen pass for Mal Parks. Parks can't get around Shopek, who makes a good defensive play. Now the Gophers come out, but Joyce gets to the puck. Millen bumping him. Chorsky sends it in. Way back at the other end, we had Shopek doing a little muscling with Mal Parks, but that breaks up. Puck rolls to Parks right here. Takes a hit, but manages to get the puck into the Minnesota zone. The Gophers changing on the go. Here they come. Granis is bumped off the play. Dube muscling with Steve Orth. Look out as the stick nearly hit Mito Martinello in the head. Now Parks doing a little elbowing with Lance Pitlick, and a face-off coming up. Well, this is not exactly the way that Doug Woog would have liked to have his young Gopher team start in this building, sir.
No, that's for sure. 3 quick goals, you know, in the first 10 minutes of the game, and but North Dakota deserves them. They're outskating the Gophers, especially in the offensive end. It seems as though Minnesota is just standing around in their own end, which is very, very dangerous, of course. This is when you really got to tighten up, because there's not too far to go to get that puck in the net, and this is what the Sioux are doing. They're just beating them to the puck and putting some quick shots on net.
Loose puck off the draw. Finally, it comes to the Gophers, who send it into the North Dakota end. Howard for the Sioux. It's off a teammate's stick. Goes all the way back to the Minnesota zone. Kobarinski will win the race. Skarda on him, though. Granis in to pick it up. He can't quite do it. Now they freeze it. With 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go. 3-0. North Dakota leading on goals by Bob Joyce, Jeff Bowen, and Scott Kobarinski. Joyce is a power play goal. Kobarinski's a shorthanded tally. Kober to face it off with Steve Orth. Andy Skarda, the freshman from St. Thomas Academy, being hampered by Kobarinski. Now it's Lance Pitlick with Perenika wrapping him up. Puck squirts loose. Nanny goes charging into Kobarinski. A whistle here. And Skarda looked like he was trying to kick one of the Sioux, and here we go. It's all breaking loose now. Howard in to grab somebody. That's Pitlick and Kobarinski, and now Benson comes in to join in that fray. We've got Dube wrestling. Fights breaking out here at all corners. We've got a big one going now back in the net between Pitlick and Benson, getting their gloves up. Everybody paired off. Saturday night at Roseland, and now Scott Dube going at it, and I can't see who that player is, but they got some licks in. Might have been Marty Nanny, and I believe it could be.
It looks like Marty Nanny. There could be some ejections here. I'm not certain.
Skarda going to the box along with a Sioux player. You'll notice tonight when the helmets come off, some of these Gopher players have some unusual haircuts. They had their numbers carved into their scalps the other night. Some had Gopher M designs. We'll have a little story on that in our second intermission. So Doob is in. I thought for sure the way Doob and Nanny were going at it, they'd be booted, but not the case.
Well, remains to be seen yet what Mito Martinello, the referee, is going to dish out here. There's going to be a number of penalties, I'm sure. And it's one of those incidents where, you know, you got a puck in the corner, and then pretty soon you got 2 guys on it. Pretty soon you got 4 guys on it. Pretty soon you got the entire 10 guys on the puck, and you got pushing and shoving, and all of a sudden there's sticks dropping, gloves dropping, and fists flying, and I don't know what's going to happen. There it is right there. Now there's 2-on-2, and there's 3-on-2 right there. Pretty soon there's another guy starting to bump in, and pretty soon you're going to see the two defensemen move in on that and pair off. There goes Tarek Howard, and then Benson. Benson takes the guy behind the net. So I don't know exactly how the penalties are going to be dished out, but I'm sure Mito will do what has to be done. Doob is gone.
Doob is skating to the UND bench, and down the runway he will go. So Doob is done for the night. The time of the penalties will be 16:06. That much we do know. Well, these things always seem to happen when these clubs get together. You hate to see it, but in such an intense rivalry, sometimes the emotions get away. And
well, it's unfortunate that you're taking a couple of good hockey players out of the hockey game, you know, before the first period is over. And you can't fault the officials. The linesmen were there. They were there on time. But what are you going to do, 2 against 10? You know, when they decide that they're going to start pushing and shoving and maybe taking a few punches, they're going to spread out, and the linesmen can only try to break up a couple of guys at a time. And then they go to somebody else, and before you know it, behind their back, something's going on. And the head official, Mito Martinello, he can't get in there. He's got to sit back and, you know, get numbers and decide who gets what and so forth. And so that when he's all done dishing out penalties, he's very fair to both teams.
Well, I can't blame the Sioux, as the Gophers appeared on that replay to have about a 4-on-1 advantage on the Sioux player, and now they're still taking time to sort it out. Chopek was sent over, but Chopek has yet to leave the ice. I don't know if he's been tossed or not. There's Timmy Berglund there, number 27, the Gopher co-captain. Bob Joyce standing to his right. Lance Pitlick, number 6. So we just play a waiting game while Martinello and the linesman Keith Markstrom and Pat Fow decide who's going to get what.
I thought maybe Manny would go from the Gophers. Wasn't it he and Scotty Doob that were squaring off down there?
Manny lost his helmet, and that was one of the main events. Benson was going at it with, I believe it was Pitlick, number 6 there. Benson is in the box right now. Koborinsky is there at the door. Now the crowd chanting, "Let's go Sioux," trying to speed up the process. As we said in our second intermission, we'll be taking a look at the story behind these rather wacky Gopher hairdos. We'll also hear from Scott Doob, or rather Doug Woog, in our second intermission. Here you see our broadcast location here at the UND Winter Sports Center. Not many empty seats here tonight, if at all. There's Mito Martinello.
A lot of experience in the WCHA. I'd say Mito's been working here between 15 and 20 years, and he knows what's going on. I'm sure he knows how to handle it. And he's asking a lot of people for some, comments, information. Even the off-ice officials are helping him a little bit. And of course, the linesmen.
Don't forget, Game 2 of the series will be seen right here on channels 8, 14, and 17 tomorrow night. We'll be on the air with you at 7:30. And again, next Saturday, you'll be seeing Sioux Bison men's basketball. That's next Saturday, January 17th, live from Grand Forks on this channel. Randy Scarda is in the box for Minnesota. I saw Tom Benson in the box for North Dakota. In case you just tuned in, there was a little fisticuffs here in the corner in the Gopher end with 3 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first period. Our score is 3-0 North Dakota. Let's see if we can see who everybody is. That's John Smith trying to straighten it all out. Got Koborinsky in the middle and Tarek Howard, number 16, in the foreground. Now Joyce and Krumpetich skating back to the Sioux bench to give the report back to Gino Gasparini. So apparently we're getting close to straightening all this out. We're going to look at the replay again here.
Well, here they come, just an innocent play behind the net. One of the Gophers trying to pick it up.
There's the elbow.
Gets hit from behind. There's either an elbow or checking from behind.
The Gopher player there elbowed the Sioux player, and that's what kind of started the whole thing. And then when a Sioux player went down, the Gophers surrounded him. Now we've got some penalty times being posted on the scoreboard. The Sioux have 2 4-minute penalties on their side. There you see it. The Gophers with 4 and 2. So as it stands right now, the Gophers will get a power play out of this, it appears. Some fans trying to get the wave going around the UND Winter Sports Center here, trying to get anything to liven things up here during the lull. They're phoning the penalties up to the press box here, and we'll be getting those momentarily. Although Doob, as we mentioned, Scott Doob of North Dakota went down the runway, and we are assuming that he is done for the game. He got into it with Marty Nanny, and we don't know if Nanny is out yet or not. I'm checking down press row here, and the PA announcer, Mark Rickson, is still on the phone with the penalty box, taking down the penalties. And as soon as we get them, we'll pass them on to you. Now they've got that wave whipping around here, and we're ready to go finally. Somebody else, David Granis, into the box for Minnesota. All we know right now, 2 4-minute penalties posted on the North Dakota side of the scoreboard, and a 4 and a 2-minute penalty on the Minnesota half. So it's 3-on-3 here for the moment with 3:54 to go. We're finally back to action and a lot of ice to maneuver in. Ian Kidd with Millen shadowing him. Now it's Hrkac. Tony Hrkac in for the Sioux. Fakes the shot, trying to get around the defender, Richards. And now Chopek picks it up. Chopek for the Gophers as there's a lot of room to skate here. Corey Millen nearly losing it to Hrkac, but recovers. Here's Millen. Long shot blocked in the defense by Kidd, and stealing away is Hrkac. Hrkac for North Dakota. Here they come. 2-on-1. Hrkac with Kidd, and it's off his stick into the corner. Well, the Gophers clear it out to center. Russ Perrin has it for the Sioux. They're announcing the penalties, and we'll give you a complete summary as soon as we get them all down here. Richards fans on the shot, and it's stolen away by Russ Perrin. 3-on-3 hockey here, but the Gophers will wind up with a power play somewhere down the line in this maze of penalties. Now it's Craig Mack, number 13, over for Eric Dornfeld. Steve McSwain up front for the Gophers. Parrott collides with Dornfeld and takes control for UND. 3-0 Sioux, 2:22 to go first period. Bob Joyce has 1 goal. He's got the puck right now. Joyce on the backhand. They're right in front, and it's taken away by Craig Mack. Here come the Gophers. Mack and McSwain. McSwain with the puck. Shoots through a screen, and a good save by Belfour.
Now that was a real big save by Belfour because he was screened all the way. Here comes Mack with the puck. He's going to drop it off to McSwain. He moves in. McSwain moves in. There's a screen in front of him. Lets a shot go, but Eddie Belfour sees the puck all the way right to his pads. Now he squares himself right to the puck so that in case he loses sight of it, the puck's going to hit him rather than he trying to make the stop. And that's exactly what he did to come up with a big save because, like I say, he was screened all the way.
We finally got a laundry list of the penalties here. We'll give them to you. For North Dakota, Benson, a double minor, roughing and charging. Tarek Howard, a minor for roughing. Scott Koborinsky, a minor for roughing, and Scott Dube, a major for fighting, so Dube is out of the game. For Minnesota, number 10, Randy Skarda, 2 for roughing. David Granis, 2 for roughing. Lance Pitlick, 2 for roughing, and Marty Nanny, a major for fighting, so Nanny and Dube both done for the night, and they'll have to sit out tomorrow night's game as well. So the Sioux get an extra minor out of the whole thing. 3 minors and a major to Minnesota. 4 minors and a major to North Dakota. 3-0, North Dakota leading the Gophers, 1:41 to go, first period. And now the Gophers are skating 4-on-3 as one of the penalties has expired. So the Gophers with a power play here for the rest of the period. Millen closing in from the point, a shot saved, Belfour the rebound. Shopek can't get the shot away. As Hrkac was on him like a magnet, and the Sioux clear. Todd Richards, number 16 for the Gophers, has Chorsky in front of him, Millen to the left. A minute to go, first period. Chorsky back of the net. In front to Millen, a backhand hits the side of the net as Belfour was guarding the post. Millen again. Millen and Hrkac both out onto the ice. This is Chorsky. Richards. Todd Richards, a shot and a save by Belfour. Nearly lost it, and he grabbed it and hangs on.
It's just a beautiful stop again by the goaltender, Eddie Belfour. He moved out, took the angle away from the shooter, Richards, and he was able to trap the puck right there. There's a big slap shot by Richards. And Eddie Belfour is right there, makes the save, doesn't give a rebound, traps the puck right there to kill the play and get a face-off. If that rebound would have dropped out, I think Corey Millen was in front, probably to put it back in. If the goaltender can control the rebound, if he can't control him, he better have one of his own players there to get it away in front of the net. And of course, this particular time, Belfour was able to control the rebound himself and get a face-off.
We've got 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Players getting a little itchy on the draw here. So they'll do it again, Millen and Joyce. Loose puck comes to the point. Richards for Minnesota. Drops it back for Millen. The side of the net. Cates tries to send it across, and it's broken up beautifully by Ian Kidd. And the Sioux clear. Now Richards across for the Gophers. He'll catch up with the puck. 4-on-3. The Gophers with a power play here. Millen at the side of the net. He tried to get it to McSwain, and it's deflected wide. 10 seconds to go. Here's Millen. In front in the slot. Richards can't get it back to Millen. A shot. And a big save right at the blocker by Belfour.
Belfour's really stopping that puck. There he comes. There's McSwain. Back to Millen. Millen over to, who is it? Is it Richards? Richards back to Corey Millen again, and Eddie Belfour puts that pad out and kicks the puck right out of the ring. And a 4-on-3 is probably the most difficult penalty kill there is.
Now with 3 seconds left, the Gophers pull goalie John Blue, and they've got 5 skaters on 3 here, trying to get a quick shot off in the hopes that the Sioux won't get it down there in 3 seconds. So the Gophers pulling out all the stops for a 5th attacker. Cates and Parent exchanging elbows here. 9 seconds to go on the penalties. They will carry over into the second period. Standoff on the draw, and the horn sounds to end the first period. North Dakota leading Minnesota after 20 minutes of play by a score of 3-0. Saves in that period. North Dakota's Ed Belfour had 12, and John Blue of Minnesota had 9. Well, Serge, it kind of got bogged down there toward the end, but on the whole, what did you think of that opening 20 minutes?
I thought it was a pretty good period. The Sioux got the 3 goals. The shots on goals were quite even. Near the end, when the Sioux were killing the penalty, Minnesota took some pretty good shots, and Eddie Belfour came up real big. I thought the goaltender on the other end was quite shaky. John Blue on a goal or two, and he hadn't been playing the puck real well the first period. I think the key to the whole hockey game is transition. Either transitioning, if that's a word, from offense to defense and vice versa. And the Sioux are doing this real well. When they lose possession of the puck, they're able to get back in a hurry. When they gain possession, they're able to break out. And Minnesota's having a problem with this particular part of the game, and I can see it as very evident that this is happening.
So it's North Dakota 3, Minnesota nothing after 1 period. We'll be back with our first intermission right after this.
There's no better way to get around in the snow than with a Honda ATV from Valley Honda. Valley Honda, out west on Gateway Drive, Grand Forks.
Hrkac quality parts spend their weekends meeting some grueling demands. The very same Motorcraft quality delivers dependable performance in your car every day. Motorcraft from Ford.
Back at the UND Winter Sports Center in Grand Forks, North Dakota, Pat Sweeney along with Serge Gambucci. We've got some interesting features here for you in our first intermission. Last night, UND basketball fans got a real treat at the halftime of the Sioux men's victory over Morningside. The Bud Light Daredevils, a 4-man group of acrobatic dunking specialists, put on a show that was truly entertaining. And in case you didn't get to see it, have no fear. Here's just a sample of the Bud Light Daredevils in action. A terrific show by the Bud Light Daredevils and a marvelous treat for all concerned. In case you're just tuning in, 3-0 North Dakota leads Minnesota here after one period of play. And we mentioned Lee Davidson earlier, the freshman center of the Sioux, returned to UND this week. Davidson spending a couple of weeks with the U.S. junior national team that took 4th place at the World Hockey Championships in Czechoslovakia. Davidson also was an eyewitness to that infamous brawl between Canada and Russia in Sunday's gold medal game, and he's got some interesting comments about that as well. Here's our conversation with Lee Davidson. Lee, you're back from Czechoslovakia. How did it go for you?
It went pretty good over there. I felt I played pretty reasonable, and the whole team played fairly well. We were in it all the way to the final game. When we lost, we could have won a silver medal, but overall I thought we played well.
Who did you lose to in that last game?
We lost to Sweden 8-0.
Did you get a little dinged up in that game?
Yeah, I just went in to hit a guy, and I just hit him the wrong way and hurt my shoulder.
Is it bad enough to keep you out this weekend? Or?
Oh, no, I'll be in for that series.
What about the fact that your hometown is listed as Winnipeg, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how'd you wind up on the U.S. team?
Well, it's from my mom. She was born in Toledo, Ohio. She's an American citizen, so that entitles me to American citizenship.
Where were you born?
I was born in Winnipeg.
But could you have played for either team? Or?
Yeah, I could have. I played for the U.S. team because basically the Canadian team didn't ask me to play.
Another thing that happened over there that a lot of people are talking about is that brawl in the gold medal game between Canada and Russia. You got to see that.
Yeah, I was there firsthand, up sitting in the bleachers. I don't know, it was just kind of a scary thing. I think it was all the Canadians' fault, so, you know, I don't really want to get myself in trouble saying that, but one Russian player left the bench, and the whole Canadian team just piled out of their bench. You know, I thought it was kind of bush league myself.
So you don't think it started on the ice? It started with a guy off the bench?
It did start on the ice. There was a line brawl. 5 guys were, you know, a couple guys were fighting, and the rest of them were just holding on. What happened was the captain of the Russian team went on the ice just, you know, to go talk to the official, and the Canadians took that as a kind of a reason to leave the bench, and their whole bench came off, went onto the ice.
You say it was a scary thing just looking at it.
Oh yeah, because a lot of those Russians, you know, they've never been in a fight or a brawl like that, and all those Canadian players are junior hockey players, and they've all fought and everything, and Russians were just, you know, they were getting killed all over the ice.
Do you think the right thing was done to disqualify both teams and give the medal to another team? Finland, was it?
I think so. I think both teams should have been kicked out. I mean, the Russian players shouldn't have left the bench, but then all the Canadian players shouldn't have gone off the bench. So I think the right thing was done.
What about you personally? What kind of a series did you have as far as points?
I think I finished up with about 7 or 8 points. I'm not sure. I didn't see any final stats or anything, and there's nothing.
Do you think something like this is just going to help you become a better player, and how so?
I hope so. I think it going over there gave me some confidence. You know, I got a lot of ice time against some of the best hockey players and hockey teams in the world. I think it can only help me play a better game now.
What about this weekend now? You're coming right back into the fire here as far as Minnesota is concerned. This is a biggie.
I'll say. I mean, leave one war overseas and come back for another one at home. I think we'll do well. We're looking forward to this weekend.
What do you think of the Gophers? You got to play down there. What are your impressions of Minnesota?
Oh, they're definitely a good team. They're a great team. I think they're beatable, though. I think we've got just as good or even better hockey team than them.
Do you have to key on anybody, anything like that?
Well, we definitely have to look at Corey Millen. He's the type of guy who can go end-to-end and put one in on you. So other than that, I think he's probably the only player we really have to key on.
And thus far, Tony Hrkac has been on the ice at the same time as Millen through most of this first period, and Millen and the Gophers shut out in that opening period North Dakota with a 3-0 lead. We'll be back to recap the goals in this first period right after these messages.
Saving money. It's something we all like to do. At Happy Harry's Bottle Shop, our buying power helps us save money, and we pass those savings on to you. And our services also mean savings. We offer generic no-frill beverages, a real money saver since 1979. We offer unit pricing to show you which size bottle is your best buy. Saving money. We all like to do it. See us at Happy Harry's Bottle Shop.
We're saving at Happy Harry's. We like it.
Come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, because this is the final week to take advantage of no interest charges.
That's right. Until 5 p.m. this Sunday, you can still get no interest charges at down-to-earth prices on name-brand entertainment centers, television sets, microwave ovens, appliances, sectionals, or bedroom, living room, and dining room sets, all on sale at no interest charges this week until Sunday at 5.
Super savings on furniture and appliances, and you don't have to pay for the glitter. So come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, 843 Main Street.
Pat Sweeney and Serge Gambucci back at the UND Winter Sports Center, where North Dakota owns a 3-0 advantage over the Minnesota Gophers after one period of play. We're going to look at some of the goals in that first period. In fact, all 3 goals for North Dakota. First, Bob Joyce, Serge, his 26th of the year on the power play. Let's look at that one.
Well, that's a beautiful goal by Bobby, because he let the shot go quickly, but he gets fed across the rink. Whoop, still haven't got it. Ian Kidd on that one fed
Joyce.
Joyce took the quick shot and put him between the legs of the goaltender, John Blue. He couldn't quite get back in time to cover the angle to take the goal away from Bobby Joyce.
That goal coming at 2:36. Again, as we said on the power play, Steve Johnson took a penalty for the Sioux just 13 seconds in, and at the 41-second mark, John Blue was called for tripping, the Gopher goalie getting a penalty, which led to that UND power play goal. Well, then at the 6:04 mark, Jeff Bowen notched his second of the season to make it 2-0.
Now, here's the thing. Now, John Blue should have let that puck go. It would have been an icing, but he threw it out to Prand. Prand hit Nacko with it, Nakaninsky, and he fed Bowen, and Bowen came in with a backhand. There it is, Bowen on his backhand, throws it up over the top, right over the shoulder of John Blue for North Dakota's second goal. Blue was responsible for that, because if he'd let it go, it would have been an icing on North Dakota. The play would have gone back to the other end of the ring. Not thinking. It's a mental lapse, and a real bad one, really.
John Blue having a few problems in that first period, and then at the 9:38 mark, Scott Koberinsky, a short-handed goal, and I thought Scott Dube should have gotten an assist. Let's see.
Well, we didn't see the puck come there, but you notice when Koberinsky was carrying that puck backwards, Richards was still backing up. That's when he should have made a play on Koberinsky. Could have knocked him down, take the puck, but he chose to back in, and allow Koberinsky to take that initial shot. And not only did he not take Koberinsky out of the play to allow the puck right here. Here's the shot. Now, he should be playing Koberinsky all the way. He lets him by, picks up the rebound, puts a rebound by Blue. Blue doesn't control the rebound, which is a mistake. Of course, goaltenders don't always control the rebound, but at least the defenseman, Richard, should have taken Koberinsky out of there so he wouldn't enable him to get that second shot to put it in. But it's 3 nice goals for the University of North Dakota. 3-0 at the end of the first period. Talking with somebody up here in the press box, they say the game's over. I don't think so, but there's still 40 minutes of hockey to play, but this continues, it could be a larger score.
We found out last week that the game wasn't over because the Sioux had a 3-1 lead on Boston U, and they came back to tie it before the Sioux won it with 4 minutes left, so it's still a long ways away.
That's exactly right, and I predicted the Sioux at the end of the first period because they were ahead 3-1, and I almost ate my words at the end of that game, but Bobby Joyce saved me.
Well, right here again, 3-0 North Dakota with the second period coming up next.
Where should you go when you want that ultimate pizza? Shakey's Pizza knows. 100% real cheese, fresh homemade dough, and the finest ingredients. Available in any combination. Shakey's, where pizza's deliciously fun. Fun for all ages. And if you think great pizza is all they have, well, come see it all for yourself at Shakey's Good Taste, naturally. 50 years ago, John Deere welcomed farmers to the first John Deere Day, the forerunner to farming frontiers. To celebrate this golden anniversary, Appa Guards in Hillsboro, Gilby, and Park River, your John Deere dealer in the Red River Valley for 38 years, will hold John Deere Day 87 on January 13th in Gilby, January 19th in Park River, and March 4th in Hillsboro. There will be a nostalgic look at John Deere's 150 years of service to agriculture. So plan to attend. All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults 1% over invoice.
We're set for the second period of play in Grand Forks, North Dakota, with the Sioux leading the Gophers 3-0. Gino Gasparini with a career mark against Minnesota of 18-21. Doug Woog, in only less than 2 seasons with the Gophers, has a 4-2 mark already against the Sioux. Woog chatting there with Bill Butters, the assistant coach for the Gophers, and Butters, a former Gopher himself, also played with the Minnesota Fighting Saints and the Minnesota North Stars. We've got 6 seconds to go on the penalties. North Dakota will start the period with 2 men in the box. The Gophers with 1. John Blue rather shaky in that first period. Dave Granis will go to the box for Minnesota. Steady Eddie Belfour, making his 3rd consecutive start. He's now started 5 of the last 6 games. See who goes in for the Sioux here. Looks like Benson and Kobarinski will be starting the period in the box. North Dakota will be moving from right to left in this second period. Once again, the Gophers starting out 4-on-3 here. And then when the 6 seconds elapse, both teams will be at full strength. Mito Martinello waiting for everything to get settled down here. And we'll be set to go momentarily. Apparently some debris on the ice in front of the Gopher bench, thus causing the delay. Now they clear the ice and we're ready to go. Tony Hrkac and Steve Orth on the draw. Comes to the Gophers. Scott Bloom falls down, but gets the puck into the North Dakota zone. All the penalties are over, and now we're at even strength. Kidd losing the puck at the side of the net. But the Sioux come out of there. Benson just out of the box. Backhand again in for North Dakota. Todd Richards retrieves. Richards skating away from Benson. Passes under the stick of Orth. Bob Joyce losing control. Now a scramble at center, and it comes to Tarek Howard. The pass is behind Mal Parks and picked up by Schopek. Kidd has it outside the line. Bloom freezes it with him. 19:18 to go, second period. Serge, what do the Gophers have to do here?
Well, they're going to have to take some chances. They're down 3 goals, and that's quite a number of goals in one period. And North Dakota is going to have to just wait for their opportunities. And North Dakota could get some breaks, because the Gophers, have to go all out pretty quick, and they got to get one within the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Action in the corner as Hrkac puts it in front. Joyce a shot and a pad save by Blue. As the Gophers got a little lackadaisical there. Now it's Hrkac again, trying to get around Pitlick. Pitlick goes down. Hrkac still digging for it. Centers it to the slot. But Espy is there to take it away for Minnesota. Now Chorsky runs into a check from Howard, and Ian Kidd has it for North Dakota. All the way down the ice, an icing call here.
I disagree with that call.
So
Minnesota could have played that puck right around the hash marks. He chose to let it go. He turned the wrong way, 1 stride over, and I think he could have made a play. I'm not trying to be critical of the officials, but I think you could hear the response from the crowd that puck could have been played before it was iced.
So they bring it back down. A couple of 14s on this faceoff. Jay Cates for Minnesota, Lee Davidson for North Dakota. Russ Perrin for the Sioux around to Johnson, who is trying to avoid the linesman. Now it's Davidson for North Dakota. Krumpetich with a head of steam. Picks up the puck. Krumpetich backhand. And it sails off to the near side. In the corner, it's Craig Mack trying to run over the Sioux defender. Johnson, Trumpetich has the puck, loses it right to Paul Broughton, number 7 of Roseau. Errant for UND, back to Lemoyne. 18:09 to go, second period, 3-0 North Dakota as Johnson gets around Dornfeld. Johnson with the puck, a bad angle shot, rebound by Trumpetich, and a sprawling save by Blue. The Sioux with 2 good chances in a row. Jay Cates can't clear it. Lemoyne keeps it in. Into the corner, Johnson. Tied up by Craig Mack. And a face-off coming up. Let's see those chances for Steve Johnson and Mickey Trumpetich.
Well, there goes Steve. He beats a defenseman there. He goes in. He takes a good shot at the goaltender, Blue. Blue gives up the rebound. As you hear the shot by Steve, the rebound comes out to the left, right on Mickey Crumpetich's stick, but Blue was quick enough to hit across and make that save on Mickey Crumpetich. 2 good saves by John Blue. Maybe he's in the hockey game. He certainly made 2 big saves in that last flurry.
John Blue getting a bit of his confidence back after giving up 3 goals in the first period. Now it's Millen against Hrkac. The class centers of the WCHA facing it off right here. Now Millen tossed out, complaining to Mito Martinello about it. And you hear the opinion of the Sioux fans. Now Chorsky on the draw. Gophers clear but not out. Howard whacks it back in. Chopek in to get it for Minnesota. 17:34 to go, period number 2. Corey Millen wheeling at center for the Minnesota Gophers. Loses the puck. It goes to Belfour, who plays it for Benson. Now everybody overskates it, and Parks has it for North Dakota with Benson on his right. Mel Parks dumps it off. Howard sandwich, gets the shot off just wide. Now Parks out to Hrkac, trying to center it. Goes by Joyce. He and Richards overskated. Chorsky now in the skates of Tim Berglund. This is Berglund of Thief River Falls. Chorsky carrying on. Parks has him from behind. And Howard in possession. Chorsky goes down. Berglund checks into Howard. But Big Tarek gets right back up. Throws it down the ice. Icing is waved off. Race here between SP and Parks. Richards has it. Can't get around Crumpetich. Brett Strout, number 33 for Minnesota. Picked off by Darren Fawcett. Big pile of players, and David Espy escapes with the puck over to Chorsky. Drops it off to nobody as Hrkac gets there first, and now the Sioux come back. Grant Paranika, long shot just wide. Comes all the way out to the neutral zone and way back to the UND zone as it followed the curvature of the glass and picked up a lot of steam. Gophers change on the fly. Crumpetich tried to play it back for Kidd, and a miscue there. David Granis crashing in with Fawson. Now Bloom in there as well. Bloom on the backhand over here for Randy Skarda. A shot and a good save by Belfour.
Nice save by Eddie Belfour. He moved out, took the angle away from Bloom. It was Skarda, I guess. Bloom fed Skarda. Skarda moved in, took the shot, partially screened, but Belfour moved out a little bit, trapped the puck, and throws it for a face-off.
Now Crumpetich skating off for the Sioux. He's replaced by Lee Davidson. So they've got Davidson, Paranika, and Koborinsky up front here. Comes right out in front, and Paranika takes it away for UND. Throws it into the zone, and Paranika wrestling back of the play with Pitlick. Meantime, back of the Gopher net. Orth has the puck. To David Granis. Kidd comes in from the blue line and gives him a shot. Sioux keep it in. It's knocked down by Lance Pitlick. Takes a hop over his stick. Played by the hand of Darren Fawcett, and the whistle blown on the hand pass.
I'll tell you, that was a big hit by Ian Kidd. I thought possibly he'd get a... Here he comes right now. Watch that elbow go up. Boom.
Oh.
right under the chin, and Meter Martinello missed it. Maybe it wasn't high enough, but it looked pretty good from here. I think he got away with one.
David Granis knows that Ian Kidd is alive, no doubt about that, and now we're back to action here with 15:15 remaining in period 2. North Dakota 3, Minnesota nothing. Both teams tied for first place in the WCHA. Paul Broughton getting a stick on it, but the Sioux finally clear their own zone. Jeff Bowen has a goal tonight. Over for Nakaneshny, getting around Dornfeld. Loose puck comes right to Paul Broughton. Under the stick of McSwain, Russ Parent plays it ahead. Nakaneshny intended for Bowen, and the Gophers break it up. Here's Nako again. Craig Mack has it for the Gophers. Gets by Mike Lemoyne. Broughton going after it with Lemoyne. Cates picking it up. Bumped off the play, and here's a possible break for UND. 4-on-2. Nakaneshny now firing it in. Glove save for Blue as the Sioux change on the fly. Held in at the point by Benson, but the Gophers carry it out. Benson and Cates go down in a heap. Now Hrkac checked off the play by Broughton. Broughton in a race for it with Benson. Drops it back right to Hrkac. Gophers complete a change on the go. Tony Hrkac maneuvering. Gets by two men. Hrkac, a shot and a save by Blue. As Hrkac had two defenders completely faked out. Hrkac again. Can't get his stick down on it as Millen wraps him up. Tarek Howard trying to pinch in. It gets by him. And here's Berglund pushing it ahead. Millen now. Millen leaves it for Berglund. A shot. Saved by Belfour. And a hooking penalty here. 13:39 to go. We'll take a break.
If redecorating is on your agenda, there's a decorator finish that's the finest at the home of economy. Glidden Spread Imperial Latex, a decorator's classic. With Spread Imperial Flat, you get a beautiful uniform matte flat finish. Or use Spread Imperial Eggshell for a soft and satiny decorator finish. Both are extremely durable. Both come in a sumptuous palette of colors. Glidden Spread Imperial, a paint with a difference you can see and feel. At the home of economy nearest you.
You're going to see here now why Tony Hrkac is circus. There he comes. Now, he's so effective because he uses his wings so well. He can either pass off, which the Gophers are looking for, but he can also keep it. And this is what he does. He beats two Gophers as he comes in, lets a backhand go, and John Blue stones him. A possible goal, but Tony does this so well. You don't know if he's going to pass off or keep the puck because he's always got it out in front of him. He can either shoot it or pass it off or stick handle, and he's so adept at all three of them, and this is why he's so effective.
And in the meantime, back at the other end, a penalty on North Dakota's Mal Parks. 2 minutes for hooking at 6:21, so Minnesota on the power play here. Screen shot from the point by Richards hits traffic. Now Millen in the corner. Out for Shopek, over to Richards. Plays it to a teammate, and Russ Parent blocks that. Loose puck, Koborinsky will get to it. Pokes it into the Gopher zone. Sioux lead at 3-0 here. Todd Richards, spring pass for Corey Millen by one man. Here's a 3-on-1 break. Bloom back to Millen, a shot just wide. Bouncing on top of the boards now. Kidd rams into Shopek. Nakaneshny pokes it out of there. 1:11 to go on the penalty to Parks. 12:46 to go, period 2. And Russ Parent will kill off more time. Now the Gophers bring it in. McSwain. Cates brings it across, and they whistle it offside as the linesman was right there on the near side. North Dakota's penalty has 51 seconds remaining.
Corey Millen had several opportunities to score goals tonight. He's got stoned about 3 or 4 times by Eddie Belfour on that last three-way pass, a beautiful pass. He had the shot on goal and he missed the net completely. He's trying to pick a short corner and he missed it by maybe about a foot. But that's all the Sioux are giving him. They're giving that one shot and a puck. They're clearing the puck out of the zone.
Well, the way the Gophers started their road trip yesterday, I thought that Lady Luck might be on their side. They came up here on the same plane as the Oak Ridge boys, who were going to appear in a concert last night in Grand Forks. The Oak Ridge boy says, how would you like to come to the concert? The Gophers said, fine, and they gave him 25 free tickets. Incidentally, I understand the Gophers were introduced at that concert last night, and the Grand Forks crowd gave them an ovation of boos. Can't understand that. Now Paul Broughton, as the Gophers have 18 seconds on their power play here. Mike Lemoyne's pass blocked by Chorsky. Now he gets it off, but Broughton holds it in. Broughton dishing off to Chorsky back of the net. Cates is in front. Shot from the point by Pitlick. Deflects in front of the goal and cleared to the corner. Marks is out of the box. North Dakota's at full strength. So the Sioux kill off that penalty, and Ian Kidd, certainly a valuable member on that blue line.
Well, they did an excellent job of killing that penalty out. Like you say, Minnesota's has the best power play percentage of anybody in the league, and so far they're 0 for quite a few, I believe. They had some close chances, but so far they haven't been able to dent Eddie Balfour.
Unofficially, I've got them 0 for 4. Now Davidson trying to get it to Krumpetich in the clear, and it's picked off by Dornfeld. Now Davidson again, trying to hurdle Dornfeld. Davidson has Krumpetich in front, and Mack breaks up the play. Everyone misses at the puck. Here's Davidson in the shot. And the save by Blue. The rebound, Krumpetich can't poke it in.
We talked earlier about this, Pat, about North Dakota beating the Gophers to the puck, especially in their end, and that's when it's very, very critical. And here you'll see Davidson moving in right across the top of the circle, right in between the two circles, letting a good shot go. Blue, again, can't quite control the rebound, but he's able to get to the corner before Mickey Krumpetich does to freeze the puck. Otherwise, it'd have been number 4.
Now the Gophers thought they had a possible break, but the Sioux intercept and clear. Randy Scarta, number 10, over here for Dave Granis. Gets the weak pass off to Brett Strout. Now Espy sending it in for Minnesota. Rick Howard leads the Sioux out. Now it's Davidson backhanding it in. Scarta back in the corner again to David Granis. Intercepted by Steve Johnson. He throws it back in. Bowen wrapping up his man Pitlick. Jeff Bowen had a bout with the flu earlier this week, but he's back in uniform tonight. With 10 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in this second period. All the scoring in the first period tonight. Bob Joyce on the power play, Jeff Bowen and Scott Kuberinsky a shorthanded goal. Corey Millen facing it off here with Jeff Bowen. It's Gary Schopek off the boards. Tim Berglund knocks it in. And this is icing on Minnesota. So back we come again. Darren Fossen, the freshman from Bemidji. Not many freshmen can step right in and play in the WCHA, but Fossen has been performing ably here in his first half season with the University of North Dakota. And when you're paired up alongside a fellow like Ian Kidd, that's bound to help you too. Crowd has kind of quieted down here now with the Sioux leading 3-0. Serge and I could barely hear each other at the start of the game. Here's Klavitter off the draw, and Blue pokes it away. Millen lost his stick in front. Bowen a shot and a kick out by Blue. Now Nakonechny retrieving for the Sioux. Kidd tossing it in. Bowen in after it. It's Schopek. Cleared but not out. Kidd keeps it in. Knocked down Klavitter. Being pinned from behind by Chorsky. Now Bowen along the boards. In the slot to Nakonechny, and he can't get the shot off. Hits the side of the net now. Leveter has Kidd at the point. Here's Ian. Had to backhand it back into the corner. Now Bowen. In front, Nakonechny, a shot. Where's the puck? It's under Blue. Oh, a slow whistle there. Blue didn't even know where the puck is. And when the Sioux came crashing in, now the Gophers take exception. Bowen and Blue into the net.
That's exactly what happens. Bowen gets that puck, throws in front of net. Well, you don't know what to do to throw it in front. Net. Nakonechny was there. He couldn't quite get it, and Blue didn't know where it was. And there we see it popped out right in the crease, and nobody was able to get in there, although Bowen did try, but before he got there, the play was whistled dead, and Blue was able to trap it with his glove. But the Sioux are beating Minnesota to the puck all over the rink. There was a great example right there. They're just moving to the puck and moving their bodies and just getting open, and the puck is there.
Koborinsky in the corner for North Dakota. Now Eric Dornfeld with Paranika all over him. Loose puck, Koborinsky can't get the shot off, and it comes to Paul Broughton. Gophers starting out of there. The Sioux applying heavy pressure in the second period. Blue has made 8 saves in this period so far. Belfour only 2. Koborinsky for the Sioux. With Craig Mack on him. Can't get the pass off as Mack gets in the way. Around it comes to McSwain, and it squirts loose to Cates. Over for Broughton. 2-on-1 they come in. Broughton a shot, and it's high off the glass. Puck is sitting on top of the boards. Nobody saw it. Finally, Koborinsky knocks it down. Krumpetich trying to gain control. McSwain all over him. Krumpetich in front. Over to Paranika. A shot and a save by Blue. A weird play there, and it's whistled dead. A penalty coming up here. 8:30 to go. We'll be back.
Experience a whole new emotion in motion. The 87 Mazda RX-7 at Wilcox and Malm Grand Forks.
Steve McSwain, number 19 for the Gophers, 2 minutes for slashing.
Now you notice the way Mickey Krumpetich just beats him, and Swain slashes him, and they get a 2-on-1. Mickey feeds Pernicia. Pernicia one-times it. He probably could have held it a little bit longer because Blue was on his way down, but as he was on his way down, the puck came, and he was able to make a big save. Like I say, Pernicia, he probably didn't know that he had the time to hold the puck a little bit longer, maybe walk in and maybe make a deke, but he one-timed it without knowing where it was going, and he hit the pads of John Blue, and of course John Blue moved over to force him to hit the pads, which was a big save. Blue has come up big. Sioux could have had 2 or 3 more this period.
John Blue turning things around here. He was having more than his share of trouble in period 1. So the Sioux on a power play here as the penalty to McSwain at 11:30. Kidd from the point in the skates of Joyce. Gets it off to Hrkac. Back to Joyce. Can't get the shot away as Richards breaks it up. And the Gophers start out. Millen on the lead pass. Here's Millen all alone. Millen a backhand, and Belfour stones him. Back come the Sioux. Krumpetich with Johnson behind him. Hrkac in front. Krumpetich circles the zone out to Joyce at the point. Gets by one man. Now Kidd. Setting up. Johnson to Hrkac. To Kidd in front. Johnson can't get his stick down on it as Schopek intervenes. 1:04 to go on the penalty to Minnesota. Gophers just missing a shorthanded break. Ed Belfour coming up with a big save to preserve the shutout. Now Johnson dumping it in. Todd Richards off the glass, batted down by Joyce. Knocked down from behind by Granis. Loose puck back of the Sioux zone. Everybody fishing at it, and it finally comes loose. Here's Hrkac. Hrkac trying to split the defense. Hrkac sandwiched by a couple of defenders, and another penalty coming here as the Gopher player broke his stick trying to get at Hrkac, and a hooking call.
Well, here's Tony going down. He beats the first defender, reaching for the puck rather than playing the man, and there he's got to hook Hrkac right there, prevents him from getting the shot off, and a good penalty by the Gopher there. And of course, now there are 2 men down for about 25 seconds.
David Brannis, they call it a hooking call, and time of the penalty 13:05. As you mentioned, Serge, 25 seconds to go on that other Minnesota penalty, so the Sioux will have a 2-man advantage here for 25 seconds. There has yet to be any scoring in this second period, but goodness knows both teams have had excellent chances. Gophers rated second in the latest coaches poll, with the Sioux ranked number 3. 17 seconds remaining on the 2-man advantage for North Dakota, as Krumpetich starts the Sioux rush by 1 man, drops it off for Davidson. The Sioux setting up the power play as Parks at the point to Davidson. They've got Paul Broughton out there for the Gophers. Parks' a shot hits a body. The rebound, Davidson can't control it. Now McSwain is out of the box. It's a 5-on-4 power play. Davidson dishes off. It just goes wide as Paranika was in front and couldn't tip it in. Hope loose to Paranika, and a penalty here on the Sioux. Now Parks arguing, but it looks like he got caught for hooking.
He got caught for hooking, and that's a bad penalty. Right here, you don't take a penalty in your offensive zone. There it is right there. He hooked the Gopher down, and of course now that puts him at equal strength. When the Sioux was really moving on a power play, they had a 2-man advantage for a while. Now they brought it down to 1 man, and now they're even up. Not a very intelligent penalty, and I was watching Gino at the time, and he wasn't too happy with that penalty either. You know, taking a penalty in your attacking zone is not very good.
So it's 4-on-4 here for the next minute and 17 seconds, and then the Gophers get a power play for 43. In case you tuned in late, Scott Dube is out of the game for North Dakota. Marty Nanny out for Minnesota, both ejected for fighting in the first period, and they'll have to sit out tomorrow night's rematch. Flying bodies here. Jay Cates can't get the shot off. Makonechny over for Koborinsky. As the Sioux start back, Koborinsky can't get around Richards. Makonechny can't get his shot off either. And the Gophers start it back. Chorsky with Cates. And that's whistled offside. With 5:37 remaining in the second period, North Dakota 3 and Minnesota nothing. Todd Richards, the Gophers Rookie of the Year last year with 29 points. Second-round draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens. We said he's an offensive-minded defenseman. He's got 32 points already this season, 26 assists. Ed Belfour has a shutout going here. Each team with a man in the box. Lance Pitlick trying to get away from Bill Cleveter. Intercepted Koborinsky out to the point. Benson a shot. Kick save by John Blue. Now McSwain ahead for Scott Bloom. Bloom, a member of the state champion Burnsville team last year, puts it right on the stick of Koborinsky. And a Sioux player gets bowled over. That was Bill Cleveter on a stiff check from one of the Gophers. Now McSwain can't carry it in because Bloom was offside on the far side. Hrkac leads the rush for North Dakota ahead to Bob Joyce. Bob Joyce, a shot and a save by Blue, who covers up.
Well, you'll see here where Tony Hrkac just feeds Bobby Joyce a beautiful pass right on his stick. Bob goes in, and Blue comes out and meets him and forces Bob to hit him right in the pad. Just a great save again by John Blue. You know, he's really been playing well this particular period. Otherwise, it could be 3 or 4 more goals for the Sioux. But John Blue's been keeping him in this second period.
John Blue has certainly found the range. He's a native of San Jose, California. Played youth hockey in California and a year of juniors in Des Moines. And the Gophers discovered him at a Minnesota summer hockey camp. He's already got the Gopher school record for career victories with 56. Here's Gary Schopeck into Sioux ice, drops it back. The Sioux miss at it. Millen now getting away from Hrkac. It's a 5-on-4 power play now as Minnesota has an extra man for the next 20 seconds. Schopeck at the point, winds up and it's blocked by Hrkac. Hrkac going in all alone. Tony, a shot and a goal!
Now you'll see here where Tony Hrkac forces Schopeck to make the pass. He breaks up the play right on the blue line, picks up the puck, pushes it out in front of him, gets himself set, and goes up high, right up high on the glove side. There it is. Right up high in the glove side, right underneath the crossbar. He doesn't miss very often. It's just a beautiful goal. There he is, takes it away from Schopeck, goes down, pushes it out in front of him, up high, and a wrist shot. You know, you don't know if you're going to deep, you don't know if you're going to shoot, but boy, he made no mistake. There it is, right up over the top. And North Dakota's fourth goal.
That's
short-handed goal, I believe.
A short-handed goal for Hrkac. That's what you call picking the spot. North Dakota's second short-handed goal in a row here. They call it unassisted. Hrkac is 20th of the year at 15:38, and it's 4-0 Sioux. Now the penalty is over to Mal Parks, but the Gophers have the puck. Pitlick a shot just wide. Comes to Chorsky. In the corner, Millen. Bouncing puck, batted down. Joyce clears it just outside the line, and Skarda has to regroup. Intercepted by Joyce, but Skarda gets a piece of it. Joyce in the corner, centering pass, blocked by the skate of Skarda. Parent hits the open man Joyce, but it's off the boards behind him. Now Randy Skarda, number 10, throws it in front. Hrkac gets the stick on it. Blue puts it right on the stick of Parks, and Mal Parks just misses. Holy smokes, the Gophers. Lucky there. Now Joyce flips it in. And as the Sioux change on the fly, that Joyce and Hrkac line gets a big hand. In front, Parks gets a shot away, and Claviter jamming up there too. And a face-off coming up. 3:16 to go. We'll take a break.
Is this your favorite part of winter? Then the Ski Shop is the place for you. They have everything for winter fun but the snow. Fashion winter wear for the whole family. The largest selection of skis and accessories around. And now there's something new at the Ski Shop.
Hi, this is Terry from the Ski Shop. We are proud to announce the new Raleigh bikes. Not only do we provide fun in the winter, but wheels for the summer at the new Ski and Bike Shop, downtown Grand Forks. But wait, there is more to come.
Back to the action here, closing moments of period 2. Dave Granis tries to spring it ahead. Broken up by the Sioux. Here's Craig Mack, number 13. Craig is not superstitious. Action in the corner now. The Gophers centering pass. It comes right to the slot. Nakonechny can't clear it. Still a loose puck. Out to Craig Mack. A whip shot. Hits a body in front. Howard around for Nakonechny. Dornfeld closing in. Orth gets a weak shot off. Picked off by Benson. Here's Claviter. For North Dakota. Claviter in on Mack and centering pass to Nakonechny. Another shot after a big save by Blue, and the Sioux couldn't convert the rebound. They send it down the ice. Minnesota making a line change. Claviter again to Johnson. As the Sioux change on the fly. Johnson a screen shot. Blue a startling save. Davidson tries to center. And it's out to Paul Broughton. Blue will play it to Russ Parent. Tried to get it to Johnson, who was up at the Gopher blue line, and it's intercepted by Schopeck. 2 minutes to go in the period. 4-0. North Dakota leading. Brett Stroke checked off the play by Davidson. Loose puck. Russ Parent now brings it out for UND, ahead to Johnson on the right wing. Johnson with Richards on him, and Richards pokes it away. Puck is under Schopeck. Now he sees it. Hits Johnson. Look out, Shopek in front with Johnson all over him. Cleared but not out. Davidson to Krumpetich. Check from behind by Shopek, no call. Out to the point, a shot by Lemoyne hits the body in front. Krumpetich again. Gets around Bloom, a bad angle shot hits the side of the net. Shopek tried to play it ahead to Broughton, who was breaking out, and Parent gets there first. Throws it right to Broughton. Teams look a little tired here. Berglund pokes it in. Lemoyne rides him off. And Belfour comes out of the net to stop it. 59 seconds to go. Well, the pace is really picking up. Doug Woog thought it might be a game of tempo. And it looks that way in the second period, but still the Gophers have nothing to show for it.
No, they haven't. And the Sioux is so dominant in the attacking zone that the Gophers are running around. They're not playing their position. They're just chasing. They're poking at the puck. They're making some feeble attempts. They're not playing the man at all. They're not taking the man out of the play. And just the Sioux are just freewheeling in the attacking zone the entire second period.
We saw a young hockey fan there for a second. Looked like he took a puck in the forehead. Those Thompson, North Dakota hockey leagues get pretty rough on occasion. That's,
oh boy.
That's the son of our producer-director, Ted Peterson. Hello, Jason. Out to the point, it's Craig Mack, a screen shot, and it hits Bob Joyce, who clears it. Joyce takes another poke at it. Now the Sioux control. It's in the skates of Joyce. Hrkac gets it back again. Tried to play it to his teammate Parks, who was breaking. Gets around Dornfeld and still gets the pass off. Now it's Dornfeld. Millen picking it up for Minnesota. Puts it right into his own bench. Look out. 22 seconds remaining in the second period. Tony Hrkac scoring the only goal of this second period for North Dakota. Tim Berglund, the co-captain from Thief River Falls. His first college game, in fact, was in 1983 against UND in Minneapolis. And I was at that game. Timmy played well, got off to a good start in his collegiate career. We mentioned Davidson back from the U.S. junior team. The Gophers also have two players back, Marty Nanny and goalie Rob Stauber, back from Czechoslovakia. But Nanny was ejected along with Dube for fighting. There's a chance in front, a shot just wide, as Cates had a great chance. Another shot by Shopek through everybody. 4 seconds, out to the point. Richards can't control it. Joyce on a break, but time will expire. Time had expired just as he got the shot off. And now a fight with Ed Belfour. Ian Kidd steps in. Now the benches are coming out as Randy Scarta was getting into it with Belfour. Paranika, I believe, took a swipe at him. The official's trying to break this up right now. Look out. Paranika going at it with somebody. Nakonechny has a flurry going on the other side. But here's the main event. Paranika on top of Eric Dornfeld. Originally, I thought it was Randy Scarta battling with Ed Belfour, and then Ian Kidd stepped in, and then it all broke loose. Now Gino Gasparini has come out onto the ice. Doug Woog has stayed on the Minnesota bench. Gino trying to get his players off the ice. Meantime, they're trying to pry Paranika and Dornfeld apart. The second period is over. North Dakota leads at 4-0 over Minnesota. But we had a little scuffle late in the first period, and now it has to happen with both teams all out on the ice. Now Paranika doesn't want to give up. He's taking some swings at Dornfeld.
Well, the only problem there is Dornfeld has his helmet on, and Paranika doesn't have gloves or a helmet on, and he's poking at that face mask.
Well, now Dornfeld just whipped his helmet off and said, let's go again. Trying to even the score here. The linesmen, Keith Markstrom and Pat Fow in there, trying to pry him apart. Well, I guess you can't blame the Sioux when somebody takes a swing at your goaltender, which appeared to be the case, and now the conversation continues down in the end to our right. Dean Blaze there in the suit coat trying to get everybody back. There's Eric Dornfeld. I would suppose that he and Paranika are done for the night and tomorrow. We've already had ejections on either side. Scott Duke for North Dakota and Marty Nanny for Minnesota ejected in the first period. So here we go again. We'll have some penalties to sort out here. Doug Woog leading his Gophers down the runway. Gino Gasparini trying to get everybody over. I believe he wants to talk to Mito Martinello, and Mito skates the other way. Just another Sioux Gopher game, right, Serge?
Well, you hate to see it. You know, the period was over, and I was watching the play down the other end on that Bobby Joyce breakaway. And, of course, the period ended before he got the shot off, and all of a sudden there's a... This what scares me at the end of every period, when 20 guys skate on the ice to go to their respective goaltenders and pat them on the pads and give them a vote of confidence, and all of a sudden something breaks loose, and there you've got 40 guys on the ice. You know, I'd like to see, the minute the period's over, that the players that are on the bench go directly to their locker room. And then you've got, you know, you've only got 10 guys on the ice rather than 40. And then they go out on the ice. But if there is a little fracas, at least you've only got 10 to contend with, which is a lot of people, but 40 is a heck of a lot more. You know, what happened in that Russian-Canadian game here the other night, if those people don't stop, nobody's going to stop them, and the only way they could stop them the other night was turn the lights off. But it's unfortunate that this stuff happens. You know, it's a good hockey, it's a great hockey game, except for a couple of incidents such as that, and very, very unnecessary.
All I can say is that, like you, Serge, I was looking at the puck, and all of a sudden I turned to my right and I saw Skarda fencing with Ed Belfour. Kidd came in to intervene, and then suddenly the bench is emptied, and the main event was Paranika versus Dornfeld. And again, we're waiting on these penalties. We'll pass them along to you, but again, we say Dornfeld and Paranika probably through for the night.
Well, they were matched up anyhow. They're both 6-footers, a little over 200 pounds. But, you know, you just certainly hate to see it regardless of who it is.
I don't know if we should call it the Friday night fights or not, but Mean Gene Okerlund, the wrestling announcer, would be at home here. I don't know if he's in attendance tonight, but Gene's son Todd plays for the Gophers, or at least he did. He's out for the season with a knee injury. And Mean Gene, wherever you are, maybe we need you down there to straighten all this out. The second period is over. It's North Dakota 4, Minnesota nothing. We'll be back with the story on the Gopher hairdos, and we'll talk to Doug Woog in just one moment.
Motorcraft quality parts spend their weekends meeting some grueling demands. The very same Motorcraft quality delivers dependable performance in your car every day. Motorcraft from Ford.
Ted Elver, submarine sandwich. Get one before it gets you.
All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults, 1% over invoice.
We've got a surprise guest here in the press box. Lou Nanny, the general manager of the Minnesota North Stars, just walking by. And Lou, you had an interesting comment. Your son, Marty, got tossed out here in that first period. And what was your comment to that?
I said it must be the rivalry. This where I got tossed in my first college game, too, in North Dakota.
That was back in the barn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was in the old building. This is a beautiful building. They put up a tremendous structure here. I wish the University of Minnesota had something like this. It's great. The atmosphere is great. Makes for a lot of intensity. And when you got the rivalry you got between Minnesota and North Dakota, sometimes tempers get short, but it's sure a great place to watch hockey.
I think Sioux fans would agree with you. They wish the University of Minnesota had a better building.
Well, they only have to come down there one weekend, so it shouldn't bother them too much. But this is just a tribute to the North Dakota program. They have got a great tradition up here. They've played outstanding hockey for so long and really draw extremely well. And it's good to see a university with this kind of facility because it makes for a happening. Everybody, not only the kids that are on campus, but the adults that come to the games, look forward to a weekend of action here, and they sure get it.
Lou, I'm sure 1,000 people have asked you this question. I'm going to make it 1,001. What's going on with the North Stars?
Well, you know, no one could tell how you're going to do. Right now we're in a battle, and we're 2 points out of first place. But we've had some problems. One, we haven't played as consistently as we should when we've got a lead. Secondly, probably as importantly, we've had a lot of serious injuries, more than any team in the league. We lost Broughton for 20 games, Bellows for 15. Our 2 defensemen had shoulder separations, and Nielsen had a rib injury. You don't lose 5 players like that. No team in the league can afford it. And fortunately, it's so competitive. The National Hockey League has got so much parity this year that we're in a dogfight. There's 2 points between first and last, and it makes for a real exciting season. It's not good for the ultras, for a manager or coach, but it's real good for the fans.
I was just going to say, that thing has been so tight in recent weeks. Have you ever seen a tighter race?
This is by far the tightest race we've ever had in the National League. If you look at 3 teams, you got Philadelphia and Edmonton that are really walking away and have a real good hold in their position. And then you've got Calgary in the other division, got some points. But other than that, it's really a dogfight for all the positions, and it's making for some exciting races. And right now, there's a great deal of uncertainty as to who's going to finish where.
Well, Lou, a lot of North Star fans up here wishing you the best of luck, and so do I. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. My pleasure. Nice being here.
Thank you, Lou. Lou Nanne, the general manager of the Minnesota North Stars. Well, you can't accuse the Minnesota Gophers of not having their heads into this series. Before they came to Grand Forks, several Gopher players decided to pull a Brian Bosworth and get some new hairdos, looking for any sort of competitive edge against the Sioux. But the haircuts are anything but ordinary. Rob Lear of KSTP has the story.
The hockey Gophers boarded their bus wearing smiles on their faces and scars on their scalps. Artistic designs ranging from the school's logo to lightning bolts.
Yeah, you can see that they got a few cuts in their heads already. I hope that's the end of the cuts.
The new do's were not the idea of the head coach, but the captain.
And then I want like a line and another, and then I want like that much of my hair. Yeah, baldness down to the head.
Following the captain's lead, as many as 10 teammates, some reluctantly, took their spots in the barber's chair.
My hair grows so fast it'll just grow back right away anyway.
I'm never going to get a girlfriend like this.
This hair-raising caper is not an original sports idea. Oklahoma linebacker Brian Bosworth, in fact, may ultimately be responsible for making this style fashionable on some college campuses. But flair, not fashion, is apparently the motive that Minnesota players have personalized their haircuts with jersey numbers.
It's been done by a lot of people, but it's something that we talked about right before practice. We all wanted to get together, so it's you know, we got some interesting people on this squad.
We're going to North Dakota. We're going there and play really physical, and I don't know, this might have a little intimidation when they see us standing on the blue line for the national anthem, but I think it's just something different for the team, just get out of the plain ways.
Well, Gopher coach Doug Woog was a little surprised about the haircuts, but he really doesn't seem to mind. He's taking it in stride. In fact, Doug told me earlier today that he kind of wishes he had the hair to do what those players did. He's losing a little bit on top. You know, 2 years ago, the Gophers unloaded Brad Butow, even though Butow was the winningest coach in Gopher history. When Herb Brooks and Mike Sertich said no, Doug Woog was next on the list, and Woog said yes. And his first year and a half with Minnesota has been tremendously successful. We talked with the Gopher coach earlier today. Doug, I imagine you're sick of talking about injuries.
Yeah, we don't have any, do we?
A few.
Well, you know, we got a good squad here, and we'll play tough. I think people will see a good hockey team, and I hope hope the real team shows up for Minnesota, and I think we will. So we are here with 20 players who can play, and we'll give the Sioux a good battle.
How have you managed to do it all season long with all those nagging injuries, and still you've been right in the thick of it?
Well, you have to have consistent players, kids that are willing to play every night, and we have that, and we have had an improving defense, and I think that's helped us. And Robbie Stauber, the freshman goaltender, has given us good games. So it's always 20 men, and 20 you have dressed have to get the job done.
What kind of a series are you expecting this weekend?
Well, we haven't seen the Sioux for a while. I could just see by the number of shots they're giving up that they're playing very well defensively, and I would think this whoever wins will probably be in a situation where they don't give up a lot of goals. I don't see an 8-7 game, although I've been wrong more often than right. So I just think it'll be a fast and it'll be a physical game. It'll be something with lots of tempo, like it was in Minneapolis. Those are two really good games in Minneapolis, Pat, and I would anticipate much the same. The bigger surface lends itself to more plays, like in the Marriott Arena back in Minneapolis. However, I think the quickness of the small rink, people will be back and forth. There might be more shots taken. We came back to Thief River Falls to play an inter-squad game, and people came out and really enjoyed the performance we put on. It's nice to be back here. We've been in a Rosso looking at players, War Road, up in this neck of the woods. We're trying to share our Gopher interest with people up here, and it's nice that our kids can come back here and play in what we'd call basically their home area.
Woog has 3 area players on the Minnesota Gophers: Craig Mack of East Grand Forks, Tim Berglund of Thief River Falls, and Paul Broughton of Roseau. After 2 periods, North Dakota leads it 4-0 over Minnesota. We'll be back with more after this.
A lot has changed in the past 100 years, including banking. That's why knowing your banker and knowing that they have kept pace with the changing times is so important. And that's why you should bank at the First National Bank, Devil's Lake.
Come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, because this is the final week to take advantage of no interest charges.
That's right. Until 5 p.m. this Sunday, you can still get no interest charges at down-to-earth prices on name-brand entertainment centers, television sets, microwave ovens, appliances, sectionals, or bedroom, living room, and dining room sets, all on sale at no interest charges this week until Sunday at 5.
Super savings on furniture and appliances, and you don't have to pay for the glitter. So come on down to Kern Hill Furniture Co-op, 843 Main Street.
Your home team reporters don't just give you the facts of a story, they get involved. Catherine Bursch, part of your home team on WDAZ.
Join me, Karen Bommersbach, for HealthNet, a new monthly medical series premiering Saturday, January 10th at 6:30 p.m. here on WDAZ Channel 8.
Serge Gambucci, you certainly can't complain, at least North Dakota can't, when they score 2 shorthanded goals in one game. And that second period goal was a shorthanded one by Tony Hrkac. We'll take a look at it right now.
Well, he's great for putting pressure on people on the blue line when they've got the puck. You'll see the puck back with Shopek. He's trying to make a pass, and Tony intercepts it. He blocks it with his skate, pushes it out in front of him, really gets momentum, got good acceleration, and watch the way he really rears back. A good wrist shot. Goaltender doesn't know where he's going to deke or shoot, and look where he puts it, right over the top. John Blue's on his knees. The puck is right over the top of his left shoulder, right under the crossbar for a typical Tony Hrkac goal.
Here's another angle in regular motion, and you see just how fast Tony Hrkac speeds away from those guys and picks the corner.
He's got quick acceleration. Tony isn't the fastest hockey player on the team, but from 2 strides down the rink, he's going full blast. He accelerates so fast that he left Shopek back on the blue line darn near, and Tony was on the other blue line, and he doesn't miss.
So far in the game, it's been a game of special teams. 1 power play goal for the Sioux and 2 shorthanded goals for North Dakota.
Well, that's right. This is what happens in an emotional hockey game. You tend to forget your assignments every now and then, especially Minnesota. And I think you create your own opportunities. And when you move your feet, you move your stick, and you hit the open man, and you go after them. When you go after a man who has the puck on a one-on-one situation, you drive through the man. You don't reach out with your stick and try to poke the puck. In a situation like that, then you're beat. He's going to deke you, go around you. You're out of the play. He's home free. And the university's doing that. The University of North Dakota is doing that so well tonight. They're driving right through the man, taking him out of there, picking up the puck and going the other way. And I mentioned about the transition game. They're going from offense to defense and defense to offense without losing a stride. And I think this shows. What were the shots on goal the second period? I believe were
13 saves for John Blue, a two-period total of 22, and 4 for Belfour for a two-period total of 16.
Well, that tells a story, and John Blue really came up big. It could have been very, very easily 6-0 in favor of the Sioux, although Eddie Belfour did come up a couple of times with some big saves, but goaltenders have to do that. In order for you to be successful, you've got to score goals. You've got to score the goals with a goaltender that you have confidence in. If you don't have confidence in it, it's going to affect your entire game.
And right now, the Sioux lead at 4-0. We'll recap all the penalties at the end of that period when we come back.
I keep loving you, so for me we're still brand new. You're my pride and joy.
If your pride and joy is a car, protect it with a Wix oil filter. Inside, Wix has 1/3 more filtering area than the leading brand, a steel core, and metal end caps, not paperboard. Isn't your car worth a Wix?
Available at your local H.E. Everson store. You've dreamed of your wedding day, floating down the aisle in your perfect dress. Faintly, you envision the groom. And now that a special man has asked you to marry him, let Norby's Bridals and Tuxedos show you the latest fashions for your entire wedding party. Norby's has been making brides' dreams come true for 48 years. Norby's Bridals and Tuxedos, downtown on Demers, where dreams come true.
Pat Sweeney, Serge Gambucci back at the UND Winter Sports Center, and the penalties at the end of that second period as we had the brawl at the conclusion of play. Grant Paranika for North Dakota gets a minor for face masking and a game misconduct. So Paranika is done for the night. Minnesota's penalties are on Randy Skarda, a 10-minute misconduct, and on Eric Dornfeld, who was going at it with Paranika. Dornfeld gets a game misconduct. So Dornfeld and Paranika are done for the night. Skarda is out for 10 minutes. And Serge, you're telling me that in the case of a game misconduct, they do not have to miss tomorrow's game?
No, they're out for the remainder of this game. If it would have been a game disqualification, then be out this game and also tomorrow night. But they'll be able to play tomorrow night, but not the remainder of this game. And after 10 minutes, Skarda will be able to come back on the ice.
Time of those penalties, 20 minutes of period 2. And the third period is underway here with the Gophers on a power play for 2 minutes. On the minor to Paranika. Ian Kidd gets around Steve McSwain. Now Russ Parent clears but not out. It's held in and batted out by Joyce. Not quite out. Now it rolls outside and Kidd takes it away for the Sioux. Kidd one-on-one with Richards. Tried to play it to Hrkac. It goes behind him. The Sioux have 2 shorthanded goals already tonight. Play is whistled dead here with 19:28 to go. Some out-of-town scores. Wisconsin and Duluth 2-2 in the second. Northern Michigan leading Lowell 3-1 in the second. And Maine on top of Michigan Tech 6-1 also in the second. Right here it's North Dakota 4, Minnesota nothing. Early third period. Minnesota on a power play here for the next minute and 11 seconds, but this will eat up some time. As the Sioux special teams performing pretty well tonight. 1 goal on the power play, 2 goals shorthanded. Corey Millen for Minnesota. Over here for Steve McSwain. Watched by Kidd. Kidd gets it away from him. McSwain loses a stick. Joyce goes down. Held in at the line by Minnesota. McSwain in front. Millen can't get the shot off as Kidd was there to intercept. Hrkac fans on it. Misses at the puck again. Here's Cates off for Millen. One-on-one. Millen all alone now going in, and it's poked away by Joyce. Maybe a little too much skating because Millen had an open man at the side of the net. Here's Hrkac going in. Hrkac a shot, just missed the corner. 15 seconds to go on the North Dakota penalty. Shopek carries in. Strung along, stick save Belfour, the rebound, Bloom, and he's back of the net. Shopek out to the point to McSwain. Takes a hop over his stick. And that's the end of the penalty. Jeff Bowen was serving the penalty for Paranika, and the Sioux are at full strength. Now Howard trying to avoid Paul Broughton. Throws it back for Kleviter. To Nakonechny. Tried to pass through a man, and the Gophers break it up. Now Chorsky in with Broughton. Chorsky around one man. He goes down. There's no call there. Battle in the corner. Nakonechny skates away with the puck. Kept in by Tim Berglund. He shoots, and it's deflected into the crowd, way up about 4 rows down from the top. We've played 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the final period. Again, Serge, if you're Minnesota, you just keep taking more chances?
You have to go. You have to go. There's 17 minutes of the game. You've got to try to get a good period. Right now, they're playing possibly for tomorrow night. They've got to end up with a good third period, so they'll take off where they left off. If they have a bad third period, this could have an effect on them also tomorrow night.
Here's Pitlick getting the pass from Berglund, and he can't get the shot off. It hits the side of the net now. Russ Parent, number 17, springs it ahead for Krupanich, 2-on-1. Krupanich, a shot, saved by Blue. The rebound just goes wide. Lemoyne keeping the puck in the zone. Out to Krupanich again. Behind the net, Blue pokes it into the corner. Krupanich back for Johnson. Orth pins him. Steve Orth, number 5. Lance Pitlick, number 6. Now Davidson steals it. Backhand blocked by the stick of Pitlick. Berglund fighting for it, but Johnson comes away with it. Steve Johnson leaves it for Lemoyne. A couple of ex-Grand Forks high school players. Bouncing puck in front. Here's the shot by Davidson, and a scoop save by Blue.
But you'll notice here, there's Steve Johnson got the puck. He's moving in, plays it with his hand just beautifully. I believe it's Krupanich. Goes in, takes a little shot, and John Blue again comes up with the puck in his catching hand. The Sioux are just beating Minnesota to the puck. They're skating, they're forechecking tenaciously and causing the Gophers to make just error after error and creating some awful good offensive chances for North Dakota, and they're taking advantage of it. And like I say, Blue again this period, it's only a couple of minutes old, and he's come up with 2 or 3 big saves, a one-on-one situation where they could have just as well been goals.
Final score in Northern Michigan has defeated Lowell 3-2. Belfour decides to play it safe with Steve McSwain closing in. The governor of North Dakota in attendance here tonight, George Sinner. Rooting the Sioux on, I am sure. Here's Darren Fossa, number 5, out of Bemidji High School. As the Sioux bring it out of their own end. Over for Ian Kidd. Ridden off the play, but the Sioux carry on. Kleviter with Nakonechny in front. Kleviter tries to stuff it, and it's cleared away. Now Fossa can't get the pass off, and Cates intercepts. Had McSwain ahead of him, but this is icing. 15:51 to go. We'll take a break.
There's no better way to get around in the snow than with a Honda ATV from Valley Honda. Valley Honda, out west on Gateway Drive, Grand Forks.
The Sioux leading the Gophers 4-0. Ed Belfour has the shutout going here with Less than 16 minutes to go in period 3. Gophers send it in. A race for it with Chorsky beating Howard to the puck. Chorsky out of Minneapolis Southwest plays it out to the point to Richards. Flips it back of the net now. Howard pushed from behind by Berglund. Comes to Bob Joyce, the Sioux captain. David Espy falling down, manages to save the puck. Kicked ahead, here's Millen. Millen a shot, oh, just wide as Balfour might have missed that a little bit. Tom Benson, number 6 for the Sioux, has Mel Parks in the clear. It's hard off his stick. Parks will catch up with it. Battling with Richards. Joyce has Hrkac in front. Hrkac has it now. Hrkac maneuvers in front. It hits blue, and Parks couldn't get a good shot off. Howard closing in from the point. A shot. A stop in front. And the Gophers will clear. Brett Strout, number 33, as Minnesota changes on the fly. Hrkac clears the loose puck. Craig Mack turns around and finally sees it, but everybody's missing at it. Finally, Tony Hrkac gets by one man, a long shot. Gophers can't quite clear it. Now they do as Johnson throws it back in. And it's whistled offside.
Outside, yes. The Gophers are totally confused. And they're allowing North Dakota to walk right into the zone with full control of the puck, whereas at the other end of the rink, the Sioux defensemen are holding the blue line, forcing the Gophers to, make bad passes, and if they have to, the only way they can get into the zone is to throw it in where they don't control it. And this is so important.
Now Davidson muscling in there with Chopek. Mack and Johnson tying up on the play. In the meantime, Steve Orth's pass is blocked by Krumpetich. Johnson starts back for the Sioux. Rolling along with Chopek. And another face-off coming up here. 13 minutes and 34 seconds to go in regulation. The Sioux with a 4-0 lead here. Joyce, Bowen, Kobarinski, and Hrkac scoring for North Dakota. Scott Dube, Marty Nanny, ejected in the first period for fighting. They will miss tomorrow's game. Grant Paranika got a game misconduct at the end of the second period, as did Minnesota's Eric Dornfeld. Gophers also losing the services of Randy Scarta here for the first 10 minutes of the period, as he got a 10-minute misconduct. Play is whistled here, and a penalty on Minnesota. Jay Cates elbowing. At 6:39. Sioux power play getting another chance here to expand the lead. First penalty of the period, discounting those penalties at the end of the second. Here's Bob Joyce. He and Krumpetich tied for the team lead with 8 power play goals. Ian Kidd with the puck. He has 7. Now Hrkac. In the slot, Johnson can't get the shot away. And it's cleared. 12:56 remaining in the third period. Krumpetich losing his stick there, and now Kidd has to skate away from Paul Broughton. Krumpetich over for Hrkac. Rink wides it to Kidd. Muscles McSwain off the play, but the Gophers send it down. 1:12 to go on the penalty to Jay Cates of the Gophers. Tony Hrkac wheeling at center. Hrkac in the slot, setting it up. Out to Ian Kidd, to Bob Joyce. Johnson in front of the net. Hrkac has the puck behind it. Johnson at the side. Now Hrkac over for Joyce. The shot, pass, save, blue. And it's under the Gopher defender.
Just unbelievable passing by Tony Hrkac from behind the net. Here's Bobby Joyce getting the pass. He'll throw it behind the net to Tony Hrkac, and right away, Tony sees Steve Johnson. He'll throw it to him right there. Steve doesn't quite control it. Back to Tony, and Tony will try it again. Right out in front. And there it is right there. Bobby Joyce takes a shot, and of course, goaltender John Blue moves out, takes the angle away from him, and forces him to hit him, and freezes the puck for a face-off.
47 seconds remaining on the Minnesota penalty. Fans screaming for a call, but Millen clears it down. Russ Parent, the freshman from Winnipeg. To Mal Parks, number 11, a North Stars draftee. Mack stops it at the blue line and shoots it in. The Sioux with a 4-0 lead on the Gophers. We'll have game 2 of the series right here on this channel tomorrow night, 7:30. Davidson in after the puck with Millen. Rolls to Kobarinski. Whistle is blown here. And another penalty call by Mito Martinello.
I think it's on Davidson. No.
Looks like maybe Corey Millen. So now the Gophers will have 2 men in the box for 11 seconds. It is on Millen. See if we can see it here. There's Millen taking a whack at Lee Davidson, and they
had to stick pretty high there.
Millen for hooking at 8:28. As we said, Kate still has 11 seconds to go. So the Gophers not doing much to get themselves back in the game. Ian Kidd with that shot. Now Hrkac trying to center it. Rolls out to the blue line where Parent has it. Cates is out of the box, and it's a 5-on-4. Cates gets Parent from behind. Saving it is Hrkac, a shot. Pad save, Blue. The rebound to Berglund. Deflected by Parent. Kept in by Hrkac. To Parent. Fans on the shot. Now Pitlick after him. Johnson in the corner. They've got Joyce in front of the net. Pitlick and Johnson muscling there. A penalty coming up. Berglund in on goal, and Belfour stops him. A penalty here on North Dakota. Delayed call. Rolls all the way back into the Minnesota end. Blue is skated to the bench. As soon as the Sioux gain possession of the puck, they will whistle the play dead. Well, they let that go, and Brett Stroke carries over. Delayed penalty. Stroke controlling. The Sioux will be getting a penalty here, and finally the whistle blows. 10:22 to go. We'll take a break.
We've come a long way together here in Dakota, and we've made a good life. First National Bank has been helping your dreams come true for more than 50 years. We've loaned more money to more families than any other bank around. We work hard to make your life a part of our life. And we've become this area's personal loan leader, doing just that. Person to person, year after year, banking Dakota style.
Banking Dakota style.
First National Bank in Grand Forks.
Well, Steve Johnson getting a holding penalty for North Dakota, and we'll see it here as Pitlick tried to get his stick away, and Steve Johnson grabbing onto it.
Well, the big mistake, Steve, was he had his back to the play. He was pinned right against the boards. There's nothing else he could do. He almost had the puck stolen away, and all he could do was grab the guy and take a penalty. Otherwise, it could have been a breakaway.
9:38 the time, so now each team with a man in the box. Millen has 50 seconds to go on his penalty. 4-on-4 here. Tarek Howard nearly losing the puck. He does, and Orth can't get the shot away as he was slipping. Now Orth again. Picked off by Howard. Action in the corner. Howard finally gets it out of there. Todd Richards for Minnesota. Feeds it back to Shopek. Now Chorsky. Wheeling with Orth behind him. Chorsky in the slot. A shot and a goal! Tom Chorsky breaks the shutout.
Well, he just did a beautiful job of controlling that puck all the way in. The North Dakota defenseman, there's Tom all the way from his own end of the rink. Defenseman anticipating pass. You notice they're spread out quite a ways. Now he's going to cut in towards the middle of the rink, goes right between both defensemen. And they're both backing up a little bit too much, and there he is right in the slot. Just a beautiful shot on just low to the glove side, and another wrist shot. I don't think we've seen many, I think one slap shot was scored tonight, but a nice quick wrist shot keeps your goaltenders a little bit off guard, and he didn't miss. Beautiful goal by Tom Shorsky.
Shorsky, his 14th of the season. Hrkac on the assist at 10-13. So it's North Dakota 4, Minnesota 1 now. Bob Joyce leaves it for Tony Hrkac. And the Sioux skate in. Hrkac wrapped around by Richards, sends it out. Joyce's shot just missed. 53 seconds to go on Johnson's penalty. The Gophers here with a man advantage. Corey Millen into Sioux ice. Waits for his teammates. Hrkac gets it over for Richards. Richards a shot from the point. Toe save by Belfour, and it's cleared. 35 seconds to go on the Sioux penalty. Corey Millen dishing off Jay Cates. Has McSwain alongside. Try to get it to McSwain in the corner. McSwain, a native of Anchorage, Alaska, so the Gophers getting him from all over, California, Alaska. Millen out to the point. Hrkac one times it hits Perrin. Oberinsky skates out of there for the Sioux. Long shot wide. 4 seconds to go on the Sioux penalty. Millen brings it in. Drops it off McSwain. The penalty's over. McSwain tries to center it. Davidson knocks it down. Couldn't get the break going. Tarek Howard intercepts. And here's Howard 2-on-2 with Johnson. Big Tarek drops to Johnson. Broken up there by Todd Richards. Ahead to Scott Bloom, number 26. 3-on-2 come the Gophers. Bloom to McSwain. McSwain is shot in the goal! And the Sioux lead is down to 4-2.
Well, the Sioux gave up a 3-on-2 there, and your defensemen have to back in. There they are. There goes the Gopher, turning it over on the right side, moves in towards the middle, makes a nice pass. Goes in, he pulls the puck to his forehand. I believe it's McSwain. Picks that far corner on Eddie Belfour, and when you come in on your off wing and you pull that puck to your forehand side, as you'll see here in a second here, here's McSwain getting the puck here on the back, pulled it, and a quick snapshot on his forehand to the far side, low to Eddie's glove side. 4-2, it's not over. Now, the last couple of minutes, the Gophers have really taken over, and the Sioux kind of lulled themselves to sleep.
So Steve McSwain with his 20th goal of the year. Bloom will get the assist at 12:03. And as you said, Serge, the game is not over. Broughton a shot and a pad save by Belfour. We're giving the assist to David Espy, and I don't think that's correct. I believe it was Bloom. Shot from the point by Skarda, who's out of the box now after that 10-minute misconduct. Bloom in after it, pokes it right through the pile. Now Perrin around the corner. Puck is on top of the boards. Now it's knocked down by Nakonechny. 4-5-player tie-up, and a face-off coming up. Well, they give the credit on that assist to McSwain's goal to David Espy, but I'm pretty sure it was number 26, Scott Bloom, so that's what we'll say.
I agree. It was Bloom.
And we tried to tell that to the people up here, and they don't believe us. They don't have the monitor, though. 7:19 to go, and the Gophers are suddenly back in the game. 4-2, the Sioux lead it. Steve Johnson, number 7. Plays it ahead. Lee Davidson picks it up now. Davidson, 2-on-1, passes over a shot by Krepinich and a save by Blue. Held in by Ian Kidd. Losing it outside, and they have to reorganize. Now it gets by Fawcett. Now the Sioux getting a little lax. Kidd for Fawcett. Tim Berglund in there. Ian Kidd Off to Fawcett. It's underneath it. Spring pass for Johnson. Johnson all alone on the break. Steve Johnson, a shot, and it's high. He's run into by Pitlick, who also bowls over Krumpinich. Back come the Gophers with a 4-on-3 here. Randy Scarda leaves it for Millen. He and Kidd go after it. Hrkac steals it away. Millen slow in getting up. Hrkac by another man. Here come the Sioux, 3-on-2. Hrkac drops it for Johnson. Johnson is shot and a goal!
Well, when you get them right back, you give one up and you get it back, you're in pretty good shape. This play starts on the other end. Here comes, I believe it's Bobby Joyce, or Tony Hrkac. There he goes. He beats number 10 Scarlett, drops a little backhand pass to Steve Johnson, and Steve Johnson, one of the most accurate shooters on the Sioux team, didn't miss. Put it right over the stick glove of John Blue for just a beautiful goal. There goes Tony. Now he's going to drop it on his backhand side, and Steve, quick snap wrist shot right over the top of John Blue on his stick side. Just a beautiful goal.
Well, the North Dakota cushion back to 3 goals here. 5-2 is our score. Johnson is 14th of the season from Hrkac and Kidd. Time of the goal, 13:54. Now Hrkac again, bringing it in. Knocked off the play by Richards. And the Gophers surrender the puck. Richards goes back for it. A penalty here with 5:39 to go, and we'll take a break.
You've always come to the Riverbend for their distinctive dining, but the Riverbend is no longer just a supper club. Take a break for lunch and come find an extensive luncheon menu with everything from crab salad to stir-fry chicken. Relax this Sunday and let us serve you while you enjoy brunch from 10 to 2. A Sunday brunch at the Riverbend has a variety that lets you enjoy Eggs Benedict while your companion enjoys prime rib. Whether it be Sunday brunch, a business lunch, or an evening out, the Riverbend is the perfect setting.
Well, the Gophers get a penalty here, high sticking to McSwain, number 19 there. Bowling over with Russ Parent. Not the smartest penalty to take here with 5 minutes and 39 seconds to go and your team trailing 5-2. The Sioux already have 1 power play goal tonight. David Espy whips it around. It's held in at the point by Krumpinich, or is it? No, Chorsky sends it ahead. Berglund now, too far for him. And Kidd is there for the Sioux. Mickey Krumpinich out of Hibbing, Minnesota. Blocked by Berglund. But the Sioux carry on. Hrkac leaves it for Krumpinich. I don't think he meant to leave it, but that's the way it worked out. Hrkac drops it off to Krumpinich. Back to Hrkac at the blue line. Drops it back, Krumpinich, over for Ian Kidd. Fans on the shot. Gets it back to Johnson, though. Joyce tying up with Espy at the side of the net. And the Gophers finally get it out of there. Oh, a possible break there for Chorsky, but the puck was behind him. Minute 5 to go on the penalty to McSwain. Joyce on the backhand, being chased by Schopek. Out to Hrkac. Sioux on the power play here for another 57 seconds. Krumpinich, Ian Kidd plays it off the boards. Hrkac and Mack go after it. Mack trying to freeze it. Now Mack carries away. Mack getting away from Johnson. Mack with Orth. This is Orth with it now. Tries to dink it toward the net, but Kidd blocks that. 33 seconds to go on the Minnesota penalty as Mickey Krumpinich charges ahead for North Dakota. Poke loose, and here's Granis. Over for Steve Orth, one-on-one with Koborinsky back. Orth has Schopek in front now, and that play doesn't develop. Davidson comes out of the corner with it. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Minnesota. Todd Richards tried to spring it up for Broughton, no go. And McSwain is out of the box. Both teams at full strength here with 3:35 to go in the third period. North Dakota 5, Minnesota 2. Russ Parent over here for Koborinsky. Parks going after it, but Pitlick beats him to it. Cleveter intercepts, but the Gophers come out of there. Steve McSwain with Broughton behind him. McSwain around one man. McSwain back of the net now. Stuff attempt in front. And it's picked off by the Sioux. Al Parks ridden off by Pitlick, but goes on. Parks through the crease. 3 minutes to go. Here's Paul Broughton. Gophers in the line change. Broughton centers it, but he didn't have anybody in front as his teammates were changing on the fly. Randy Scarda. Tim Berglund lays it up to Millen. Millen wheeling in. Tied up, and Belfour covers up. Sioux defense not giving Millen much room there.
No, that's exactly what we talked about earlier. There's Tarek Hard against Millen there, and Tarek Hard played Millen all the way. He just disregarded the puck and took Millen right out of the play, so Millen couldn't get around to make a play on the puck so he'd get a shot at the goalkeeper.
We're down to 2 minutes and 34 seconds in regulation. North Dakota 5, Minnesota 2. And several fans heading for the exits here. The rematch tomorrow night, 7:30. You'll see it right here on channels 8, 14, and 17. Now we're ready to go. Steve Johnson throws it off to the far boards where Krumpetich takes a poke at it. Kept in by Scarda. Loose puck to Ian Kidd. Bouncing puck in front. Millen, a shot and a big save by Belfour.
There's Millen again, home free right in front of the net, about 5 feet out, gets a loose puck. There he is. Right there, he gets on the puck, takes a shot, doesn't quite get enough wood on it, evidently, and Eddie Belfour gets down and makes a save to stone him again. He'd probably been stoned 5 or 6 times tonight on real good chances, but Eddie came up big.
Millen held scoreless so far in this game. That hasn't happened too often this season. Millen did miss several games with a sprained ankle. Missed 7 games, in fact. He got hurt against Denver. They thought it was going to be pretty serious at first, but fortunately for Minnesota anyway, it was not. That would have been a big loss for them. Millen, a member of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. Another matchup here with Hrkac and Millen. It's going to be tough to pick the first team center between those two, and it'll probably be one of those two in the WCHA this year. Bouncing puck back of the Sioux net. Less than 2 minutes to go now. Long pass intercepted by Richards. The kid takes it back for North Dakota. Now Parks sends it in. Blue leaves it for Chopek. Over for Chorsky. Trying to get around Parent. Squirts to Berglund. Over for Millen. Millen waits for some help, but the Gophers were changing. Now Chopek at the point. Chopek fakes the shot. Parks clears. This will not be icing as Blue has to make the save. And the Sioux fans give him the Bronx cheer. 1:17 to go. Hrkac throws it in. And the UND pep band striking up with that Lone Prairie. David Grannis, number 12. Too far for Steve Orth. This originally was icing. Now they wave it off. 55 seconds to go. 5-2. Sioux lead the Gophers. Puck bounces out to center. Bowen runs his man off the play. They try to get it ahead to Nakonechny, and the Gophers take it away. Steve Orth to Dave Grannis. Brett Strout. Randy Scarda. Gophers positioning. Scarda's shot hits a stick and hops high over the net. 28 seconds. And Nakonechny clears. Icing is the call with 20 seconds to go. And the Sioux will take sole possession of first place in the WCHA with the victory tonight. We can say it now. For a while there, it looked like the Gophers were going to come back to make a game of it. They were down 4-0, scored 2 goals, just a couple minutes apart. But Steve Johnson put the Sioux ahead by 3 at the 13:54 mark. Espy fans on the shot. Out to Skarda now. He tees it up. Shot hits traffic. 10 seconds. Bob Joyce off the boards. Gophers have it in their own end, and they'll let the clock wind down. That's the end of the game, and the Fighting Sioux have defeated the Minnesota Gophers 5-2. North Dakota alone in first place in the WCHA with 34 points, 2 ahead of Minnesota. Ed Belfour getting the victory in goal tonight in his 3rd consecutive start. And it's too bad he didn't get the shutout surge, but it's still a victory.
Well, that's right. There were 2 good goals that were scored against him. They certainly weren't sloppy goals. It could have been a little bit lull on the part of the university in their own end, but the goals that Chorsky and McSwain scored were, you know, they beat Belfour real good. You know, McSwain moved from his backhand to his forehand and put it in the far side, and Chorsky come right down the middle of the rink and made a nice wrist shot by the goaltender, Eddie Belfour, also. But he played a very, very steady game, and he certainly deserved the win.
Saves in that final period. Blue had 10 for a game total of 32. Belfour had 6 for a game total of 22. And the 3 stars in the game. Tony Hrkac, the #1 star for North Dakota. Then it's Ed Belfour, the Sioux goalie, #2. And Ian Kidd, North Dakota defenseman, the #3 star. So North Dakota sweeping the 3-star honors tonight. So the final score, North Dakota 5 and Minnesota 2. We'll be back to wrap it up after these messages.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
Get the professional edge with this Black & Decker 4.5-inch angle grinder, now sale priced at just $59.95. Fall projects go smoother with a Black & Decker cordless drill kit, priced at only $89. Get the professional edge at Acme Electric, with stores in Grand Forks, Fargo.
Acme Electric, tool crib of the North.
How much insurance is enough? Your Thompson Insurance agent can help you decide. When buying insurance, you want to know you're fully protected, but you don't want more insurance than you need. That's one reason you'll find it beneficial to deal with the agents at Thompson Insurance. Careful consideration is given to keep your insurance updated and revised as your needs change. At Thompson Insurance, we write your policies, and we're there to give your claims prompt and personal attention. True concern for their customers and community. Thompson Insurance, Grand Forks. All new Chrysler products, Jeeps, and Renaults, 1% over invoice.
Welcome back to the UND Winter Sports Center, where the Fighting Sioux have just recorded a 5-2 victory over the Minnesota Gophers to put them alone in first place in the WCHA. Looked like the Gophers were going to come back and scare them a little bit, but Steve Johnson got a game-clinching goal there to put the Sioux ahead 5-2, and let's take a look at that now, if we may. A big one for Steve.
Well, this one starts with Ian Kidd feeding Hrkac. Hrkac cuts in front of the net. As you can see, in front of the offensive zone. Look at how nice he beats Chorsky. He goes around and he just drops a backhanded pass, gets into the zone, just drops a backhanded pass here in a second as he gets into the zone right here. There's Steve Johnson cutting across. There it is. Steve goes in. It's wide open. Lets a quick wrist shot go right over the stick side of the goaltender, John Blue, for North Dakota's 5th goal. They needed that one because the Gophers were coming on 4-2 with about 6 minutes left, and the Gophers seemed to be getting a little bit momentum, but that one kind of killed it. But a beautiful goal and just an excellent feed by Tony Hrkac.
I don't know if you heard Tim Hennessy walk by here, Serge. As he walked by, he said Hrkac could skate from here to the Netherlands. We were just saying the other day how in practice, at the end of the practice, a lot of guys were hanging over, hanging their tongues out, and here was Hrkac still going. He can really keep going.
Well, he's an effortless skater. He's not fast. He knows when to skate, when to kind of relax, and he never gets himself in a crowd. Whenever he sees anything happening, he always skates to open ice and starts his plays from there, so they don't take anything out of him by bumping him. And this, of course, takes a lot out of people when you bump him, but he's just a good playmaker and a good shot.
Okay, what about tomorrow night? What do you think we'll see tomorrow?
Those 2 goals certainly should have got Minnesota going a little bit. They got 2 nice goals, but they've got to play better on both ends of the rink, especially in their defensive end. The first 2 periods, the Gophers were doing not too well in their end of the rink, and they left North Dakota open quite a bit, as was shown by the number of shots taken. But I think they'll come back and make a better game of it tomorrow night. I won't predict, but hopefully it'll be a good game because they're 2 excellent hockey teams.
Well, both teams have something to shoot for tomorrow. The Sioux have a chance to expand that 2-point lead on the Gophers, and the Gophers could get right back in the thick of the race and tie it up with another victory tomorrow. So we hope you'll join us here on channels 8, 14, and 17 for that one tomorrow night at 7:30. That'll do it for tonight. Our final score again, North Dakota 5, Minnesota 2. For Serge Gambucci, this is Pat Sweeney. Good night.
This has been Fighting Sioux Hockey, a WDAZ sports production. Tonight's game was sponsored by Valley Honda, H.E. Everson, the First National Bank, Grand Forks, Thompson Insurance, Home of Economy, Hofford Motor Service, the Golden Q, Express Photo Devil's Lake, Acme Electric, Norby's Bridal, Happy Harry's, Shakey's Pizza, Oppegard Implement, Wilcoxon Mall, The Ski Shop, Fat Albert's, and the River Bend.